say that.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets.
That's right, Jets, the new favorites to win the Super Bowl. We are here for it. We've been dragged through the mud. We have been made fun of, poked, prodded, called ugly and old. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just Jeremy. Who knows? But either way, it's been rough. And now we're getting some respect, evidenced by the map that came out. I can't wait to show you guys the map. And we'll deconstruct this map, which signifies greatness for our New York Jets. I am GreenBean. Welcome to the Thursday Thick of It late edition. We're starting an hour late today. I wanted you guys to get some time to watch Thursday night football and see that touchdowns are hard to come by in this league, or at least on Thursday nights, no matter the orange uniforms for the Chicago Bears or not. It is ugly out there. Let's see if it changes. Darnell Mooney looking good, but we're going to talk about all that stuff once we bring on our friend who's, I think he might be particularly salty tonight. Let's see. I got a vibe. Let's check him out and bring on Frankie from Flatbush. What's up, Salty? How you doing?
Happy Victory Thursday, everybody. It's another Victory Thursday for the New York Jets. You can't say that very often, 2 in a row. We got GreenBean, so we got something going on. Zach is back. Joe Flacid is back to being the backup, and we can all be a little hopeful about what's to come.
I am hopeful, Frankie. I think, Jets fans are funny. It's like literally it goes from fire everybody to Super Bowl rookies of the year, leading the league in this and that and the other thing, right? We're nuts. I mean, the thing is, look, you're a Jets fan. You're not new to the party. It's not like we just got here and we're like, wow, these are fucking nuts, these people. We're of the ilk, right? We know the deal. But it really is funny when you take a step back and just look at us for a second. And look, we are excited. I think legitimately excited, Frankie, for the first time in a long time. Even last year, look, we beat the Titans. And I think we were, 0-3 at the time or something like that. So we beat the Titans, and it was like, okay, we can still capture the season. We go into London, and we beat up on the reeling Falcons. And I mean, we've had hope. Then we beat the Bengals. But it's not like this is a little bit different. Now, maybe not all the way different, but we've had now 2 draft classes of Joe Douglas figuring out ways to get just oodles and oodles of premium talent, right? And he's shown the ability to at least get some talent in the later rounds too, but just leaving this up top. We have 5 first-round picks in the last 2 years. So 2 years ago, Frankie, 5 first-round picks did not exist on the Jets. Now you add that to the second-round picks. We have Breece Hall, who's lighting the world on fire currently, and Elijah Moore. Those are our second-round picks. There could be an argument made that we have 7 first-round picks in the last 2 seasons. So when we start this winning, and now 2 in a row, Frankie, like you said, this is the first time 2 in a row happened in a long time, and certainly not in the last 2 years, right? 2 or 3. So this excitement, in my opinion, is a little bit more valid, and that's why Jet fans are jumping off bridges, Frankie. They don't know how to handle it. I'm like, am I happy? Am I sad? I got to jump off fucking bridge. That's what's happening. Do you think there's like legitimate reason to be excited? Is this a little bit different than maybe last year?
Well, I think it's much different, because last year was year 1 of a down-to-the-studs rebuild, and Joe Douglas had to do what Joe Douglas had to do. He tore it down. He got the books right, and that's boring, and nobody likes that. And you say, well, we should just do an F them picks strategy like the Rams. Well, it worked out for the Rams because they won the Super Bowl. But I think now you're seeing their depth isn't quite what it needs to be, and they have an injury or 2 to key players, and all of a sudden Rams look like they can't do anything anymore. They were just in the Super Bowl, And now they can't block anybody. They can't run the ball. Stafford looks like hot garbage. So
Allen Robinson's toast. Like, it's crazy.
What
right?
happened to Allen Robinson? He's out there saying, "Can you throw me a pass, please, Mr. Stafford, once in a while?" Like,
the truth.
there's other people here other than Cooper Kupp, Matthew. So
Right.
so yeah, but that's and now we're starting to see a little bit of the fruit of the labors of doing it the way that Joe Douglas decided to do it, and I'm happy about that because thank goodness. I mean, if this didn't work, I mean,
Yeah.
we were
Right.
gonna be. It was gonna be a miserable time.
It was
But we're
Sean
still-
Payton or bust. It was
Yeah.
like,
What are we
gotta
gonna do
get
now?
We must
So-
get Hall of Fame. Like, if this doesn't work, like, right,
Yeah.
we did the mercenary thing, like, just like you pointed out with the Rams, which is, it's such a good point. Like, look, they got a Super Bowl out of it. So for Jets fans, I mean, that would be enough. We're willing to have a nice come down if we can get one championship to hang on our damn wall. I want a flag, Frankie. I want a friggin' banner. You know what I mean? I want a pennant. But you look at it, and we did that in 2015. Mike McCagnon found all this money from John Idzik. John Idzik left a little trove on the desk. And Mike McCagnon, holy cow, there's $76 million in here, and the 4th overall pick or 6th overall pick. So, but he went out and he got Brandon Marshall, and we already had Eric Decker, and we got Chris Ivory and Fitzpatrick and Revis and Cromartie and Gilchrist and Screen and all the guys. And it was fun. We had a fun year. But when we didn't make it, even though we were 10-6, most years that's good enough to make it. Even though we didn't make it, Frankie, a lot of people, like, you remember, like Fitzpatrick held us hostage. He wanted to, Mangold came out and said, I want him back. How could you break it up after 1 year? And it was over. It was we had one chance with that group of guys. They all got like fucking 10 years older in that offseason. They came back. They were incapable of putting anything together. It was a flop. Now, this way, you look at these guys that are running around, Frankie. Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner, Michael Carter, AVT. Like, these guys, Quinnen Williams, they're DJ Reed, Jordan Whitehead, Conklin. Dude, they're all 25 years old and younger. All of them, all the names I just mentioned, the oldest is 25. I'm pretty sure. Is Jordan Whitehead might be 26, I
Something
think.
like
But
that.
either way. So you look at this core of the team. They're young, which, dude, they're going to be on their rookie contracts for 3-4 more years. It's incredible. Jermaine Johnson. I mean, Michael Clemens, Jeremy Ruckert. So I really prefer this way. And look, we talked for years. It takes longer and it's more difficult. And when we traded a guy like Jamal Adams, many, many Jets fans, and I remember it, man, they're saying, this was a stupid move. The Jets got better today. It's going to take years to reap these rewards. Well, now we know it's AVT, who just might be the best offensive lineman. Let's see how it goes, right? Knock on some wood. Might end up being one of the best offensive, if not the best offensive lineman that we ever had. I mean, the guy's already more versatile than anybody we've ever had. At a high level versatility, not just like, he can do it, Frankie. I gave up 3 sacks. I'm not supposed to be over there. That kind of thing. But it's like, you look at that stuff, and anyway, it's exciting, and I think I lost my train of thought, Frankie. So, it
goes back to what Salah said. This team is built, not bought. Now, we purchased a lot of free agents. It's not like we didn't. Not like we're not spending money. Joe Douglas knows he has the same amount of money as everybody else. It's a matter of allocating it properly. But you have to build through the draft. They said they were going to do it. We've seen them do it, and it's like that old quote from The Wire. We're building something here, detective. We're building it from scratch, and all the pieces matter. All of them. I
like it. It's the truth. It really is. And, look, Frank, things are so positive right now that I swear to you, I'm almost in a prison cell because I feel nervous to mention them. Like, I'm afraid, Frankie.
We don't know what this is all about. I mean, and
I'm
every
fucking excited.
commentator, every professional commentator says, "Man, they have a lot of talent." Wow,
Yeah.
and they might throw in, "Well, it's young talent though, so they'll be up and down, and it might be a little bit of a roller coaster because it's young talent, but boy, are they talented." And everybody says that, so it's
Yeah.
consistent, and it's true. You're seeing it. I mean, AVT, how can you not love AVT? I
Oh my
have to
God.
get an AVT jersey because
Yeah.
I mean, it would be impossible for me to love a player more than I love Elijah Vera Tucker. Sorry, I know
And
they're all good. I love Sauce. I
yeah.
like a lot of them, but Elijah Vera Tucker, and then the Jets put out a video of him and all of his enthusiastic stuff that he does during the game, where he's not only doing that, he's also like crazy into it and going nuts and going crazy with the
Right.
fellas and all that stuff. And it's like, man, this guy is the guy. He's the man.
He's the guy. And he has a smile that lights up a room, Frankie.
Yeah.
Is that important to
He
you? It's
loves
important
it.
to me. He loves it. That's the thing. It's like he's now played 4 of the 5 positions on the offensive line. You know that they're waiting, and they're not going to force it, but they're waiting
Even-
for the opportunity. Get him in there.
like a
Snap that
victory
damn
kneel
ball.
down. During the victory kneel down, they should let him.
They really should. Frankie, I can't get this side. Something's up with my beard right here. I can't figure it out, Frankie.
Something tells me Manscaped has a product that might help you, GreenBean.
Yeah. What if I just did this all day, Frankie? What do you?
Oh,
Jedediah.
Santa mode. That's like Santa Claus mode.
Right. So, Frankie, let's talk a little bit. First of all, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. Again, thank you for waiting. I was at a rehearsal dinner for a young couple that's getting married tomorrow night. And we went there. My wife is in the wedding party. I am not, but I am there nonetheless. And we had to rehearse and we had to eat lasagna and such. And so, you got to do those things. But then I actually was going to cancel tonight. But then I realized, we'll be done by like 8:30. I'm like, 8:30? I'm out. So I left at 8:22 and I said, all right, I got to go. And I left and I took off and here I am. So I appreciate you guys waiting. There's a whole bunch of you in here and I know we're excited. We're going to talk to all of you. As you guys know, we got New York Sports Media, Y2K in the back, the president of the Virginia Jets fan club, among many other roles that he has, and producer. I like that term for Jeremy. I think he's a good producer. He's back there making sure that the show runs smoothly, that nobody gets skipped, all those types of things. He does a great job. Jeremy from Jets Chaos is here with us too. And we'll bring those guys on a little bit later. And I want to say hello to all you, try to get to the comments, as you know, and the excitement of all this. There's already so many comments that I'm just going to say hi to a few of you. Don't take it personally if you're not one of them. Of course, we're way into this thing. But if you want your comment read, you guys know the deal. Super chats, skip to the front of the line, and we do appreciate it. It helps the channel stay going here. And if you haven't liked the video or subscribed yet, that is really important as well. We appreciate it. Again, it helps the channel grow. And the guy next to me here is Frankie from Flatbush. You guys know that too. And don't forget to give him a little bit of love. But let's say hello to Jets Chaos. Look at that. Look, he's in there, Frankie. Raymond Gonzalez is here. Anders is talking about cheese heads. Frankie, I don't know if you saw the video on Instagram. Maybe I show it later. I'm finishing my studio today. I'm done. I just got to build furniture and I'm done. Put in the lighting fixtures and a bird flew in and he was stuck in there. Yeah. A bird flew in my studio and he was flying around. And I didn't know if it was a good omen or a bad omen. So I just filmed it. I said, oh, look at this guy. I didn't know that. So it turned out he took a little shit in there. So he flew in there to take a little shit and he left, little bird poopy, and he left. Now, I heard that getting bird poopy on you is actually considered good luck in many cultures, Frankie, especially the weird Italians. So like, oh, the bird. Yeah, it's good luck. It's a good luck. And you hit it in your face. It's just stuck in your head. Don't wash your hair.
I have
So,
heard that. I've also heard another rumor that says birds aren't real. So people might want to look into that conspiracy theory.
Well, that's interesting. That's going in. Is that going into like they're all robots? Like the little,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, That's a weird thing. One show we're just going to do that. We'll go, hey guys, listen, welcome to the show. We're not going to talk Jets right now. We're going to talk about robot birds.
But you know what's weird about it? There's all these stickers all over the what they call the south side of Pittsburgh that say the birds aren't real. Like they're everywhere. Yeah.
I got to look into that. I'm really interested in that. Mike Kaz is here. Jets Babe is here for a W Sunday, please. Oh, she kisses for a W. I like that, Jets Babe. I like that. There's something about that. You remember, Frankie, years ago? No, Jets Babe, I don't know how old you are or whatever, but years ago, they used to have kissing booths. Do you remember this, Frankie? This was a real thing. Carnivals.
Yeah, we can't have that anymore. There's
why not?
This week, no way. You want a COVID booth? Have a kissing booth.
Call it COVID booster.
Here's a booster.
But you know what you used to do, Jet Babe? There'd be like a cute young lady behind the counter, and you'd pay $3, $1, whatever it was, and you get to kiss her. And you kiss. Yay! That was real. So, Jets Babe, I don't know. I know this is jest, but you reminded me of that. It was a real thing. That's not what Jets Babe is doing, everybody. She's just saying, hey, Jets are going to win. Cy Thompson, 6 rookies of the week in 2 years. That was my video today, Frankie. Think about this, everybody. From 2009 to 2020, we had 2 players win Rookie of the Week. Mark Sanchez, who won it 3 times the first 3 weeks of his career, Rookie of the Week. Then Geno Smith a few years later. And since then, it's been a complete ghost town. Now, we know that winning Rookie of the Week is fans voting and it's skewed, right? It's not winning the Super Bowl. It's not to that degree, or an all pro or Hall of Fame. But you have to be up there. You have to do something good to be qualified for it. And that we have no control over. So think about this, Frankie. Even if the guys didn't win, since then, we've had very little impact from rookies. There have been almost no rookies that qualified for winning Rookie of the Week. Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith, and it's been a veritable ghost town since then. Since Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh teamed up, 6, not 6 times, Frankie, 6 different players. We are in week 6 of the season. And we already have 3 of our rookie class already made it to Rookie of the Week, man. And this week, we had 2. So we could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's out of control. Like, and this is the thing. Like, you guys know, Frankie's critical. I'm critical. Jeremy, Watuke, we're critical of Joe Douglas when we need to be critical. Like, I don't love everything. I don't know why he does this or that. And we say it. But overall, man, there is a stark difference evidenced by we had Mike Tannenbaum, we had John Idzik, we had Mike McCagnon, we had Rex, we had Mangini, we had Todd Bowles, we had Adam Gase. 2 players qualified for Rookie of the Year that whole time. Joe Douglas is here, and look at all that. So, dude, I mean, again, winning, that's Jet Nation. We're nuts. I saw on Twitter there's guys literally voting 250 times. So, once they're in there. Yeah.
That's also a shout out to Jet's Twitter. I mean, that shows you what kind of maniacs we got in this crew, right? We're going to go and vote 1,000 times for these kids. And that's great, but that's also great. I look at that as a positive. Like, we're going to go vote for our guys. Yeah.
That's right.
Hell yeah, we're going to do our part.
That's right. We do our part, right? Yeah.
This is what we get to do. We can watch the games. We can talk about the games. We can show up to the games. We can buy the gear, and we can vote for the boys. And that's what we do when we are called upon.
Right. We do our part. We yell and scream. We drink in the parking lot. We get all shitted up, and we curse in the stadium. It's our part. It's what we do. That's our thing. So Trinity's here. He says confidence is bubbling out of the content creator realm, Frankie. It's interesting. Yeah, we're now the thing is this is that and look, we'll try to get to some comments. I think I only said hello to 4 people. I don't know what it is. I can't shut up tonight. Tonight's a weird night, but the thing is, look, we're playing the Green Bay Packers, and we already beat the Cleveland Browns, and now, it's Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, he's their starting quarterback. I hate to tell you. You know what I mean? And maybe you don't like that. Deshaun Watson is suspended. Jacoby Brissett is their starting quarterback. We beat him. Mitch Trubisky was their starting quarterback. Okay. We ended his starting career. That is Mitch Trubisky's, the idea that he's a starting quarterback in the NFL ended with the final clock tick of the first half of their game against the Jets. And then they brought in the rookie phenom, everybody, Pittsburgh, right? Frankie's in Pittsburgh. He could tell you. They're excited. They love him.
Yep.
And we made him look silly too. Look, he's got a long career. It doesn't mean anything. But all this talk about quarterbacks and blah, 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 blah. And then you look at Skylar Jenkins, right? Now, this Skylar McDougal, they wanted him in. They didn't want Teddy Bridgewater. And like Rex Ryan said, it's so funny because I was saying it and I heard Rex said the same thing. Did you hear this, Frankie? Rex Ryan said, hey, why isn't anybody talking about Teddy Bridgewater was knocked out by the Jets in that game? That's football. That's something they did. The Jets did that to him. Now, and he goes, and look, Teddy Bridgewater, what do you think? He's going to change anything? He goes, Teddy Bridgewater is the epitome of average. He's not, we're not talking about Peyton Manning here. And that's the thing. So when everybody complaining about the Jets, the truth is we are a young team with a losing background. And these are the games we hope to win. We're coming out of the depths. We shouldn't minimize any of our losses. Of our wins and try to demean them, guys. This is where we're supposed to be. These are the first steps out of the basement. And these are good steps. Now we go to play Aaron Rodgers, Frankie. Aaron Rodgers, who I know everybody's saying, he doesn't have weapons. I don't know. I like Romeo Doubs, and I like Cobb's old, of course, but he's still talented, man. And their running game is pretty damn good as well. So Aaron Rodgers with those, that's more than enough. I don't know if Christian Watkins is playing or not. I saw that he was injured. So I don't know. But there's enough there. There's more on that team weapon-wise than we've had every year up until this year. What the fuck are we talking about? Like minimizing the weapons. Frankie, there's weapons all over the place up there. What do you think?
They also have Alan Lazard. So they got a good crew. Christian Watson probably is not going to play. He has a hamstring. But Romeo Doubs has been very good for them. And that's an exciting young player. I like him coming out of the draft. Romy the homie. So what? You have to play the teams that you have to play. Like it's almost like they want us to lose, but then we win, and then it's like they still laugh at us. It's like we did what we were supposed to do. You're supposed to beat these people, and we did. So what's the problem? If the other team isn't putting out NFL talent on the field, then they should go ahead and forfeit. It's perfectly within the rules. Go ahead and forfeit. If these people aren't NFL quality, then just go ahead and forfeit. We'll take the win and we'll say thank you very much. We won't get injured and all that. We don't have to go through the process of playing. But if you're going to put a team out on the field, then it's our job to beat them, and we have. And so I don't understand any of this criticism, and I think it's all just crying in a different format. And as I said last week, those tears taste very delicious.
They do. And Frankie, I thought about you a couple of times because I was drinking tears this week. And it's like, as delicious as Pittsburgh Steeler tears are, Miami Dolphin fan tears. I don't know if there's anything better than Miami Dolphin, especially because they get really upset. Dolphin fans. And this is the thing. I told you guys, I lived down there for 15 years. I worked in Miami for almost a decade, right in Miami. And their fans, in my opinion, are the pettiest of all. They're very fair weather, but they get so whiny and complaining because most of their fans only want to be involved when they're looking good. When they suck, you can't find Miami Dolphin fans. There's a few. There's a smattering. You got the old head. You got some guys. But overall, like the big hubbub, the MetLife takeover, that's because they think they're good. And so when they think they're good and something bad happens, they cry even louder. And boy, oh boy, do I love it. I watched like a whole night like 2 hours, I watched Miami Dolphin fans reacting. I was like, oh, this is so good. I couldn't get enough of it, Frankie. If it wasn't 1 a.m, I would have just kept going. It really is. It's nice to, look, the truth is, man, is they've been drinking our tears for a long time. And nobody, nobody said when somebody beat the Jets with Luke Falk at quarterback, nobody said, well, it's Luke Falk, man. He's not even an NFL. When the Jets had 14 people on IR when we played Miami Dolphins last year, nobody said, dude, they got 14 players on IR. No, they just said Miami has a winning record. They're 9-8 last year because they had 9 wins, and 2 of those wins were against the Jets. Collectively, we had 30-something people on IR for those 2 games, and one of them we didn't have Zach Wilson, and Joe Flacco had just been traded for a couple of weeks early, and he was just thrown in. He was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll play." I don't know.
I would have. The thing about it is, I would have preferred to beat Tua. That would have been my preference.
Yeah,
Tua,
of course,
and Teron Armstead and everybody else who was injured on their team. I want them playing. And I would have preferred, if Tua is not available, I would have preferred to beat Teddy. Those people weren't available. What are we supposed to do? Like, it's not our fault that those people aren't available. It's not our fault that Teron Armstead got injured early in the game. What do you want us to do? We did what we had to do. We won the game, and we should be proud of that. That's what you should do. And we did it. And I think that's, like you said, it's a stepping stone. It's a little bit, it's evidence of us climbing slowly, inch by inch out of the NFL ghetto. We're trying to crawl our way out.
That's right. Right. And that's the whole thing. And you said it before, like, what are we supposed to lose? Because we knocked Teddy Bridgewater out. And not for nothing, maybe he would have been allowed to come back in if your shady ass organization didn't sweep the Tua injury under the rug. Dude, saying that's a back injury, Frankie, he stands up and does this twice.
That was, and he wobbles. Like, when I saw that, I was like, what? That's clearly like me. I'm not exactly a red hat. Not exactly a neurological expert, but watching on television, I could tell you there's something going on with the brain here. Get him out of there. It was weird, very weird. And how disturbing was it? We were watching the Thursday night game on this very program,
right?
And how disturbing was that to see that? It was very disheartening. I was very upset. I don't want to see Tua or anyone be injured, it's just terrible. But they should have just, it was pretty obvious he should be coming out of this game, dum-dums.
Right. And it's a good point, man. Like, number one, I would always prefer to beat the top
I want to
guys.
beat your best. Show me your best. I want to beat your best.
Right. But let's be real here. Teddy, who was crushed, by the way, I thought it was his ribs or his elbow. He landed on, an elbow I can understand. I didn't even see concussion, but I guess his head hit the ground. But I don't think the NFL would have been that sensitive if it wasn't them. They were the team that threw that out. Dude, again, just like Frankie was saying, I was saying, dude, when you stand up and you shake the cobwebs, like you shake the rocks around, that's a head. That means you're groggy, dizzy. I've been there 1,000 times. You see boxers do it. They shake they're trying to shake themselves back to the car. All right, hold on a second. And that's what he was doing. You don't do that when you hurt your back. You go, oh, my back. That's what you do. You bend over, you grab your cane. Ooh, ow. That's what you do. I didn't see Tua doing any of that. He went, holy shit, I can't even see. And so they threw him back out there. But that's the whole thing. So there's layers to this thing. And that's the, look, again, I don't give 2 shits. The Jets, just like Fat Gandalf just said, the thing that I feel is, it's mentioned, but I don't think it's mentioned enough, is how well the Jets are playing in the fourth quarter. And that includes Zach Wilson. He's up and down all game. He has a good drive in the first quarter. He goes to shit in the second quarter, and he throws a pick in the third quarter. And everybody's like, he's not the guy. He sucks. And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, somehow this team locks it down, and Zach Wilson becomes efficient. He makes less mistakes. Now, again, I'm going to knock on wood. I'm afraid to even talk about this, Frankie. But it's like when you look at it, last week we scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. The week before, we scored 14 points in the fourth quarter, coming from behind. 2 weeks before that in Cleveland, we scored 14 points in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like in the fourth quarter. And it's like, I mean, it's hard to say that 2 games or even 3 for that matter is a trend, but it's something that in this very short season so far, it's happening consistently. This Jets team seems to know how to clamp down in the fourth quarter. And I think if we can be anything, you know, that we say we want to start quick and all. Yes, great. I agree. If we can be any type of team, being a fourth quarter team that comes out and just no mistakes and becomes lethally precise and the defense clamps down and the offense, dude, that would be best case scenario, in my opinion. We watched it with New England forever. It didn't matter how much they were down. When you got into the fourth quarter, they could be down 3 touchdowns. Everybody's like, we're going to lose. It's fucking dude. When in the 2010 AFC Championship game, when Sean Green ran in the touchdown and then went to sleep on the thing, there was still like 2 or 3 minutes left, and we were down. They were down 2 scores. I was in a panic. We're going to lose like this. He's going to do it. I know he is.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, you know, there were all these beat writers who were going to sit there and lecture us. You know, as we were about to lose, it looked like we were going to lose to Cleveland. All the beat writers were on Twitter lecturing us about, about this is a fourth quarter league. You need to be excellent in the fourth quarter to be good in this league. And they were going to lecture us, tell us how much Saleh can't coach and the team stinks. And they were going to lecture us all day about this being a fourth quarter league. Well, is it still a fourth quarter league? Because we're doing pretty good in the fourth quarter. And if it's a fourth quarter league, then I feel pretty good about it.
Right. Yeah. Now, everything NYJ, I have a feeling that stands for New York Jets, Frankie. Everything New York Jets, beers and tears. I love it. Hey, dude, I saw that you reached out to me on one of these social media things. I completely lost it. I meant to reply. Reach out to me again. I lost it. It got lost in the sauce like every wide receiver that's played us this year. Lost in the sauce. So, yeah, reach out to me again, buddy. I apologize. It's not intentional. It's just something that happens with me. I probably deleted it in some weird thumb swipe thing. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, the fourth quarter thing is really important. Now, look, I want to talk about this, and then we're going to segue right into, I think, the Miami thing. I think we're kind of done with it, right, Frankie? We beat it up. We commented, we talked about how much they suck, how delicious their tears are, all the things. We did it. Now there's a map getting passed around, and I'll thank Rivka Board from Jet X Factor. She's the one who gave it to us. Here it is, Frankie. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this map yet, Frankie?
No. What is this?
This is the United States. Now, what this is. You'll notice on the top right is Maine, and on the bottom is Florida. The capitals of which so what this is now, I don't know what all the color. This is the regions that certain games are being broadcast on the national, like on the local TV stations. Okay, now it's cut off, but I can tell you the purple, the blue is the New York Jets game versus the Packers this week. And we're also getting their A team. The broadcast A team. Maybe you remember who it is. I can't remember who the hell it is.
It's Greg Olson, and I forget who the play-by-play guy is, but it's Greg Olson, who's great, by the way. Great color guy. The former tight end.
Right. Okay. Greg Olson. Who's the other guy?
I don't know. I forget who the play-by-play guy is.
Let me be real honest with you. I don't know who these guys are because we
never get them. But like we talked about this last week too. This week we got Kevin Harlan. He's one of the top guys. The week before that we had Greg Gumbel, also one of the top guys for CBS. Now we're going to be on. I think we're on Fox this.
Fox
this week, right? So that's why we have Greg Olson and the other guy. Oh, Burkhardt.
Right.
Kevin Burkhardt.
Jets fans are really excited about this, Frank. Now, look, I'm excited because if you can see, I don't know if you can you see my mouse when I do this? No, right? You can't see that. How can you see this?
Yeah.
You can see my mouse?
Yeah.
All right. You see this place right over here, Frankie? Look at this. See this? This is where I am, right here. And you see what color that is? It's blue. So I get to not be on a friggin' 3-play delay this week. So I'm really excited about it.
Wait
Now,
a minute.
Frank,
But I noticed something else. There's
Yeah.
something called PIT, and that's where I am, and it's red.
it is
What
red.
What is
Let me-
going
let me
on
see
here?
something. All right, let me see. So Wat2K put it says it all over the damn picture of the 506, but Wat2K let us know the 506.com, right? Let's see.
So I got to be trapped here in Steelertown,
What are you
and
watching?
I can't even watch the game of the week. What's going on here?
I got to see what game this is. Why is this taking so long? I don't think that's the site, Wat2K. The 506.com. Oh, there it
In
is.
other
Okay.
words,
All right.
wait a minute, Greenbean.
Hold
So
on.
in other words, we better not screw this up. It better
All right.
not be Green Bay 40, Jets 3. That's what you're
Yeah,
telling
I'm
me.
telling you, right, Fred? It's a good
That's-
point, Frankie. I'm
Now we
telling
can
you.
lose as long as it's a good game. We put up a good fight and we fought Rodgers all the way down to the end, especially after what the Giants just did to him.
Yes, that it does look at people. I had somebody today said to me, "It doesn't matter what the Giants said." I said, "You are drunk. It doesn't matter what the Giants. Would you just get here? What the? How
Did you-
their
did you
NFC
just
doesn't
get
even matter?" I said, "Dude, I swear to you, it's like you don't even know how to be a fan. You don't even know what fandom is about. Of course, it matters. The Giants went to London and did a comeback victory over, and then we're gonna go to Lambeau and lose? No." It's twice as bad if we do that. So,
Well-
Frank, all right, here's the map, Frank. Thank you, Wat2K, for getting us here. So now we know this is the 506.com, everybody. If you want to know, I didn't even know this place existed. I'm going to look at this every damn week. I'm always like, I literally, you want to know what my system is, Frankie? I go to my wife, hey, can you find out if the game is on? That's my system. I've been doing that for 16 years of marriage.
I'm sure she really enjoys it too, Greenbean.
She loves it.
Yeah.
She feels purposeful. It's like, it's like when she goes, hey, can you change my oil? I'm like, I'm needed. She can never leave. All right. So here's Frankie. Frankie gets to watch the Steelers. It's the Tampa Bay Pittsburgh Steelers.
Damn it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
That
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, they
so-
kind of got to do that.
And look, San Francisco and Atlanta. Look, so they're over here. And yeah, it makes sense too. It makes a lot of sense. Who's this orange? Minnesota versus Miami. They get nothing. Oh, look at Minnesota. But look at the Miami market, Frankie. See this?
What? They don't even get. Well, there's Jacksonville, but why?
Because
Isn't
Tampa
Florida-
Bay's there. Tampa
Why
Bay.
isn't Florida? Why isn't Florida split up between Jacksonville and Miami? Oh, then you got
Tampa
Tampa
Bay. So
Yeah.
they're going to be watching your game. So Tampa Bay. Now, look, years ago, Miami owned all this. It was just
Yeah.
around Tampa Bay, but now Tom Brady's in town. So everybody's you think the guy living right here, Frank? Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
You think this guy, he bought the house here. He lives here, Frank. You think he's always been a Bucks fan? Or you think he's riding the Tom Brady wave?
That's interesting, man. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
It is. So let's look at this. I'm real curious. So look, this area, big Tampa Bay fans in here. Look at this. Maybe they're Pittsburgh fans.
I don't know.
Waco, Texas.
Yeah. Waco's 90 miles south of Dallas, 90 miles north of Austin. I don't know what that's not. I mean, that's
Hey,
cowboy country. I don't know what they're talking about.
well, years ago, the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers used to play each other in the Super Bowl every year. Remember that in the 70s?
Yeah.
So maybe they grew a lot of Pittsburgh fans there. I don't know.
Maybe.
Look at this. What's this green one? Carolina and the Rams. They get all Oh, yeah, I guess Carolina, but up here, look at they're watching Carolina and the Rams. Is that right?
Oh. PJ Walker country.
Yeah, right. That's right.
That's
So what's this one? This is
Wait a
Arizona,
minute.
Seattle.
Shouldn't we talk about our favorite pal, Rat Mule? What happened to him this week?
Oh, we will. Yes, absolutely. So listen, let's talk about the map real quick though. So you see, we have the top broadcasting team, and clearly we are the number one game in the country, Frankie.
So much pressure. There's
But
going to be.
Jets
I
fans-
feel pressure now.
You
Greenbean.
do?
This isn't good.
But I know it is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Jets fans are so excited. They think we've arrived, Frankie. And
We
what I
bet-
want to say is,
better
look,
not get blown out.
well, I know, but I'm with you. I think it's nice too. It's good. And if we are going to have a good showing, even losing, right? Like, look, we know we're not winning out, except for Jets Forever. He believes we are. No, most people are. We're not going to win out. You're going to have to lose some games, but you want to go up there and you want to be in the game till the end. Like, that's the thing. You lose, but you don't want to go up there and get shellacked, you know?
Right.
But I think that Jets fans, I venture to say that this map and the corresponding coverage team has very little to do with the Jets. I have a feeling that it's Aaron Rodgers that they're covering, Frankie. Do you think I'm off base? Do you think it's the Jets, Sauce Gardner? Or do you think it's Aaron Rodgers?
The Packers are frequently, featured. So I'm sure, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers, but it's like, it is a little weird. It's like Rodgers, if you had Rodgers versus Brady, that's, okay. Rodgers versus Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott or, Patrick Mahomes and all of that. Herbert, Zach Wilson, 2 games played this year. What? So I don't know. Now, the nice thing is Kevin Burkhardt, if everybody may remember, Burkhardt started in New York. He's a New Yorker. I think he started on WFAN and did Mets games. So he'll give us a fair shake, I think, Kevin Burkhardt. And Greg Olson's very fair too. So in his commentary, he's not. So we'll get a fair shake from the broadcasters, I think. So that's good. I don't think they're going to be anti-Jets at all. So
yeah, well, that'll be nice. I know it's like, it's just the worst when you listen to them and they're just like, this team, this organization has been slapdick for 38 years.
Yeah, like James Lofton. Like James Lofton, it's like, dude, we know you were a Buffalo Bill. We get it. You hate us. Okay,
I know.
Wonderful.
We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know you never won a Super Bowl. You're grumpy. We understand. We understand, you grumpy bastard. Billy SBC says we're gonna have Green Bay's getting rolled over like a dime on a train track. Well, here's something else that Rex Ryan said on this tip here, Billy. He said the Jets, young team. Do you think they don't know the feeling of being in a 11-year slide? They don't know what that feels like. He said they don't give a shit about who they're playing. They're looking around at each other, just like Breece Hall said this week, and he had to stop himself and pull it back, but he said it. We looked around at this team and said, damn, we're good. And he's right. When you take a second and like Breece Hall and Michael Carter, Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson, and they look around and say, dude, we have something here. Like it's the beginning and you lots of work to do, lots to fix. That's all well and good. But the truth is we are bubbling over with talent. And we have not been in a long time. And particularly, Frankie, at the skill positions. Like Zach Wilson said this week, he said, look, man, we don't have an offense that you can focus on one player and take him out of the game. Or, take our offense out. He said we have players everywhere. And this week
we got 5 receivers with at least 192 yards receiving. No team has such.
We have 3 receivers with at least 15 receptions already too. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it is crazy. And I like what Ulbrich said about Sauce Gardner too. Sauce Gardner doesn't even remember if you complete a pass against him, he doesn't even remember that if it just happened. He said he doesn't even believe it happened. He'll say, "Oh, it was because my shoe was untied or my glove was unfastened. I don't even remember you catching that 2 seconds ago." So they're not going to remember 11 years when Sauce Gardner doesn't even remember what you did 2 seconds ago against him. He puts it right out of his mind and says, "Oh, it was because my shoe was untied. You got lucky." Next play.
I love that. That's the thing. They say that, right, man? You got to have a short memory. Next play.
Yeah.
And that was a great comment, in my opinion. It's like, these guys, they just know that they're building something. Like they're actually onto something. And what we saw in the fourth quarter this last weekend was that train picking up steam. That's what we saw.
And
you know what I mean?
We've had AVT all over the place. We haven't had we've had no left tackles. We've had to move our guards to tackle and AVT playing all over the place. And we're still doing this. I mean, what happens if we solidify the freaking line? What happens then?
Can you imagine? What if we actually put AVT in a spot for him to get better at?
Yeah, right.
You know?
Let's leave him someplace for more than 2 seconds and see how he does. I mean, his
Yeah.
first game at right tackle, he was dominant. I mean, come on, man.
First game, he was dominant at left
In his
tackle.
life.
Yeah, you're right. First game at right tackle ever.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, man. And he
insane.
was dominant, absolutely pancaking people, collapsing the line. It was
Yeah.
really quite incredible. But you bring up such a good point. While everybody bitches about the Jets quarterback, the quarterbacks the Jets play, which, by the way, we've already changed the dynamic of two teams we've played. The quarterback that started the game, no longer the quarterback. You know what I mean? So, like,
They waved the white flag. They said, no
That's
mas,
right.
no mas, no mas from Carl Lawson.
That's right.
No mas, Quinnen Williams. No mas from Jan Franklin Myers. No mas.
I can't take it. It hurts
we
too
can't have
much.
this guy in here anymore. We need the other guy. No mas.
Please
white
don't
flag.
hurt us. Please stop hurting us.
Stop.
But again, like
this is too much. It's the white flag.
Yeah, well, and that's it. Like, look, man, I mean, Jermaine Johnson did not practice today, which upsets me. Like, I really want to see these young guys just continue.
Yeah.
He did
He'll be
say
back
he's
next
okay.
week. He'll be back
So he's
next
not.
week.
You're right. I think he's going to miss this week. Did not practice today. But it is what it is. I mean, if we can lose a guy 1 week, dude, last year alone, man, again, we lost the second Miami game. We didn't have Michael Carter, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, like all of our guys were out.
The Tampa
George
game, we
Fant.
had nothing. Our primary receiver against the Tampa Bay freaking Buccaneers was Braxton Berrios.
Right.
I mean, and Zach still balled out in that game. But I had a point, but I forgot.
I know I keep doing that too.
Stupid age.
My wife just walked in here and goes, "We don't have a broom?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's a broom." She's like, "I'm live. I don't know where the fucking broom is." And I'm listening to you. I'm like, "Wait, what are we talking about? Brooms? Are we talking about brooms, Frankie?" I'll tell you what kind of broom I like. Disregard Papa checking in with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, "Guys, what's the easiest way to watch this Packers game without cable? Should I go to a sports bar? Or should I get NFL Plus? I'm trying to watch it on my TV." Well, disregard Papa. That's what the map was saying. So, like, Channel 5, I say that because that's what it was. That's what Fox was where I grew up. It might be Channel 2 where you are. Whatever channel Fox is on, you can watch it. If you're in any of those areas, you want to see the map, I'll show the map one more time.
You got to be in the blue. You can't be in Yinsburg. They're not going to show it to you.
Right.
Though at this point, the Yinsburgers may want to see another team. At this point, they're 1-4 after all.
I know they're not liking it. But here, disregard Papa. This is it. The Jets at Greenbean. So everywhere, if you live anywhere in this blue, it's kind of purple to me. I want to say violet, Frankie. Am I wrong? What is this?
Yeah.
That's aqua. What is this map? It's weird colors. So disregard Papa. Anywhere that's blue, you can watch it on TV, the broadcast. You don't need cable. But you do need, I don't know, remember the days of the rabbit ears are over, guys. I don't know if we've been paying attention. There are no rabbit ears anymore. They don't send signals through the air anymore for TV. It's all digital. But you can go to Walmart for $10. You can get a digital antenna, plug it in your TV, and you got it. It's that simple. So that's how you do it. Now, that said, NFL Plus, I haven't watched any games on I have NFL Plus, but I haven't done that. I watch it through DirecTV app. That's what I do.
I would always recommend NFL Game Pass to people, but that's if you're interested in watching, like, I try to watch as many league games as possible. Gives me good context. I want to see Justin Fields. I want to see Trevor Lawrence. I want to see all these people. And you can, after the games are over, you can watch any game you want in 40 minutes. And that's the beauty of that.
I love compressed games, Frankie.
40 minutes, you could get 3 games in right before you go to sleep. I mean, it's beautiful.
It really is. The compressed game thing is good. Look at this. If I do, look, Frank, I could take your whole damn face away here, Frank. Look at this. I'm trying to get to the small one. There we go. We'll do that for right now. So disregard Papa. That's how you do it, buddy. Sky C checking in. He says, "Hey, Greenbean and Frankie, our young Jets seem to be brimming with confidence and swagger in a way that feels new and refreshing without being cocky. This year feels truly special and going our way." Well, let me say this. I actually agree with you. And it's not to say that I didn't enjoy the cocky version, like the Rex Ryan. We put you got a target on our back. We could put a target on your chest. Like I like that too. You know what I mean? Like Rex Ryan yelling to Channing Crowder, "I've stepped over tougher guys than you on the way to a fight." You know what I mean? Like things like that. I liked that too. I can't be dishonest and revise history. I was totally on board with that shit. But you're right. This is different. It seems like the guys we have, Joe Douglas in particular, but I think in conjunction with Robert Saleh and the rest of the guys, they are focusing on guys that, to say the cliche term, that love the game of football. Like Joe Douglas said, that hate to lose more than they love to win. Joe Douglas, the day he took the job in his initial press conference, said, "I want to develop the best culture in sports. That's my goal." And so we're seeing that with guys like, I'm going to epitomize the whole thing for you, Sky C. After the game in the locker room, there was, they grabbed their phones and they do the whole thing. And Sauce Gardner grabbed Breece Hall and said, "This is the guy that's taken my Rookie of the Week award." You know what I mean? Like, so he's saying, look at this. Look how great my teammate is. When he had a great day, he didn't say, "Yo, man, fucking safety, interception." He didn't do all that Jamal Adams stuff. Me. He didn't do any of that. He said, "Look at Breece Hall." Breece Hall then turned around and said, "This is Sauce Gardner's week. He's the one who should win it. He changed the game." So that's the difference. These young guys already have that advanced, like, kind of team thinking. Remember when Sauce Gardner, when he was interviewed after when he was drafted, they said, "What are you going to bring to the Jets?" He said, "I'm going to bring a good teammate." That's what he said. "I'm going to bring a great teammate to the Jets." He didn't say, you know what I mean? It's significantly different than what we've seen. And the talent obviously has to be there with these guys. It looks like it is. Garrett Wilson is freaking special. I never could have imagined out of the gate. The first catch, look what he did, his first NFL catch. It was like, whoa, who's that guy? You know what I mean? That's different. Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, like they're clearly talented, but it's the other side. And I think that's the vibe. And look, as much as we throw mud on Saleh and Ulbricht and everybody else, you got to give credit where credit is due, man. That's them. They're doing this. This is the culture that Robert Saleh has been trying to instill. And I'm going to say this too. And then it'll be your turn, Frankie. I want to hear you say. The receipts comment, when Robert Saleh made the receipts comment, we came on here and we said, I don't know, man. I'm not loving that comment, because at that point, it seemed like a silly thing to say when you haven't done a damn thing yet. But I think it resonated in the locker room, right? And it's become our rallying cry for this year, receipts. It's like the thing. It's taken on a life of its own. It's grown legs, Frankie. So I think, Robert Saleh is connecting with his team. They're playing hard for him, playing 60 minutes. We see their respect for one another. And I think that's what we're all experiencing, man. And I think it's very positive. You have anything to add to that, Frankie?
Well, some of the things that caught my eye after the game that some of the guys were saying was, and this is, I think, speaks to their character. They were saying something to the effect of, "Johnny, call your daddy. Daddy, Johnny, it's time to call daddy." You know why they were saying that?
No.
Because Johnny is one of our kid reporters who's about 6 years old. And they do those kid reporter interviews, and it's adorable. And he's interviewing him.
Right.
And he was interviewing Sauce Gardner, and Sauce asked him, "So why do you want the Jets to win?" He said, "Well, because every time the Jets win, my dad says I can get ice cream, and otherwise I can't get any ice cream." So now when we win, the guys say, "Johnny." They remember the kid reporter, Johnny, after the game with all the emotion and everything that just went on. They had the wherewithal to think about little Johnny. Johnny gets some ice cream. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, come on.
It is. And that they're like that's a part of their sphere of consciousness. They didn't do it and walk away and never think about it again.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's advanced. Like when I was 22 years old, Frankie, I wasn't anything like these. Now, granted, I didn't have all these preparatory people telling me to, I didn't have anything like that. I was just like, I got to make $60 today. Like that's all. That's it. That's all I do. I'm gonna get laid, as you know. But these guys, I think, so many times we've seen draft picks of ours either just be punks or just not be very good. Guys that we didn't want to draft as a fan base, and we tried to justify it. Like a great one is Calvin Pryor, right? I don't know a single Jets fan that was saying, and like I said, I've been doing this for a long time online, talking to thousands. Not one Jets fan that year said, I hope we draft Calvin Pryor. If there was a guy saying we should draft a safety, it was Clinton Dix. And that was few and far between. When we drafted Calvin Pryor, the only justification was, okay, he's got 12 picks. It's a very deep wide receiver class. They know that they're going to get a better receiver in the second than a safety. So they took that was what we were trying to do. We didn't grab a receiver.
GreenBean is the Jets historian. He remembers all of this.
I remember the feeling.
GreenBean's got the freaking
right? I got a fucking box of receipts. But it's a funny thing. And then we didn't take a receiver until the 4th round. Then it was Jalen Saunders. It was like, who? Hey, Greg Dortch, by the way. Anybody watching Greg Dortch? He's on the
Flying Dortchman.
Dude, man, the One Jets Drive did a little expose on him, and we loved him. We were like, yeah, keep him. He's 5'7". Just keep him. He works harder than everybody. He's that guy out of Wake Forest, and we cut him. And they look at him. He's a legit NFL receiver. I'm real happy about that. But anyway, let's see what else we got here, Frankie. We got some little tiny Cy Thompson checking in. All right.
Just as a side note, Justin Fields Justin Fields is getting murdered on this field here. I mean, this is criminal. This is criminal what they did to Justin Fields with his offensive line. I mean, that's criminal. That new GM, what's his name, should get fired immediately. I can't believe what they've done to this guy. I mean, he's getting up with pain on his face every damn play. This is craziness.
Yeah, I tell you what, all of us, when we're all watching the draft obsessively, as we do, right? We know us. We obsessively watch this shit. Every single one of us said, what are the Bears doing with Fields?
Yeah. They're not helping. We all said it at the time. Why do they hate Justin Fields?
Why do they hate him?
I mean, it's craziness. Yeah.
Look, look at that.
Let's get a safety. I mean, I like Jaquan Brisker, but
right? Who doesn't love Brisker?
But still, did you need Jaquan Brisker on this team at this point in time? I mean,
right?
Really?
You should have. Right? Everything should have been like, dude. And this is the whole thing. The problem I've had with our previous GMs, and in this instance, we'll talk about Mike McCagnon. Like he traded 3 second-round picks to move up 3 spots. That's a second-round pick for each spot. To grab a quarterback. Fine. Okay, we're in. Deep quarterback, you want to make sure you get your guy. Great. All resources after that should be making sure that guy that you just gave away the next 2 years, that you make him succeed. But the best you can. And the thing is, Mike McCagnon's interview just following the drafting of Sam Darnold, he said, well, now we have the rest of the draft to build around Sam Darnold. Well, maybe he was thinking about it, but he couldn't pass. He just couldn't do it. A 26-year-old defensive tackle out of Tulane in the 3rd round named Nathan Shepard. He couldn't pass him up. Couldn't. To get Sam Darnold.
And we've had to live with the misery of Nathan Shepard on our team ever since. Thanks, Mike.
Right. He's still here sucking.
On the field for no good reason that nobody could figure out, for God's sake.
But that's what the Bears did to Fields. And it's like, look, and everybody's saying the same thing. They're saying, Fields sucks. And maybe he does, but dude, they're not helping him. You know what I mean? He's running around. He's trying to make things happen. And like you said, the offensive line is terrible. I love Darnell Mooney. I think he's super crazy talented. He really is. He's a pretty damn good receiver.
But you do need more than one wide receiver.
You do.
And, their second tight end, you know who their second tight end is, GreenBean?
Yeah, I know who that is. You watch him?
Ryan Griffin.
Oh, isn't Wesco out there too?
I was going to say, you know who their third tight end is?
Yeah, yeah, Wesco. There it
Trevon
is.
Wesco.
So
This
that's
is
what
what
they
they
did.
this is what they gave Justin Fields. The
Yeah.
garbage we threw away.
Right. Think about that. Like they're going about it the way that we were in Adam Gase's first year.
And
Like
now,
let's go grab Trevon Wesco and Ryan Griffin. Like
Yeah.
those are the guys we just tossed out.
yeah. And
All right,
now
who's
they're going to
that?
be on year 3 of his contract and not know if he's any good at it, really. And unless he, turns things around, it's still early in the season. Maybe they'll do better, but
Yeah.
you're going to go another year and not know if Justin Fields is the guy. Now you're in year 3 of his contract. And then at the end of that year, you got to make a decision about do you extend him or not? That's when you can become eligible for an extension and all that.
Oh my God. Is that real? Did that just happen? That just happened.
I must be behind.
Oh,
you.
and Justin Fields got crushed.
He's not going to make it out of this game. He gets
He's not.
crushed.
He just
every
threw a beautiful touchdown, and that was a beautiful catch, everybody. Look,
Uh,
he's doing push-ups. He's fine. All right. You don't got to do that, though. That's why I don't like Justin Fields personally.
I must be significantly behind you.
But watch. Like, this is the thing. So he's on the ground. He's writhing in pain. And then he decides, I'm going to do push-ups to let everybody know I'm okay. That's the shit that we don't have on our team. That, like, childlike response. Like, be professional.
Ooh, yeah, that
Beautiful
was a nice
catch.
pass. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't get his foot in. He didn't get his foot in? Is that real?
Look at Fields. I mean,
No. Okay, he had his foot down on the catch. All right, he's got it. That's got to be a touchdown.
but he makes a throw like that. And you say, okay, this is what he can do. Look at this kid. And he makes tons of plays with his legs, tons of them. And he makes a throw like that.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, this is what he can do. And then you watch him and other times it's like, what are we doing? So
he's so
you
bad.
see the potential.
Yeah.
But
I don't like his personality, Frankie. Like, I didn't like that comment, man. Like, and Chicago Bears fans, I have a close Bears fan friend. And he said, yeah, that was bullshit. When he said, I don't know. I don't think the fans that we should be more upset. I see these are the guys working for the team. What are fans upset about? I forget how he said it. I'm paraphrasing. But he's been there for a half an hour, and he's comparing himself to fans, tortured fans that have been watching this shit for 60 years. You know what I mean? I don't know. Why are you so upset? I'm the one who should be upset. I'm working.
But
you gotta have some.
Dude, the fans are the reason you get to make your salary, homeboy.
That's right. Hello. With that, exactly. Don't forget, we're the lifeblood. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we're fat and ugly and old. Yes.
And
fair
annoying.
enough. Yes, we bitch and cry and complain about everything. Yes, fair enough. But that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Is like when you look at like Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, you look at their comments and then you listen to Justin Fields and he's doing push-ups after an injury. It's like, all right, dude, like what is that? You know what I mean? That's Jamal Adams. And good. Go ahead. Good. Get out of here. Cy Thompson checking in. He says, bring on Clemens. Time to eat, Frankie. What do you think about that? Michael Clemens has been, when he's on the field, he does have an impact. But what do you think about his playing? Do you think he's going to earn like incrementally more throughout the season? What do you think? I mean, Carl Lawson's coming on, so it might be hard.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to bring on anybody, it's going to be Carl Lawson is clearly our best edge player. It's not even close, and he's been one of the best edge players in the league. Lawson, Clemens doesn't have any sacks. He gets pressures occasionally. He's playing okay, but he's playing as a rookie. I mean, he hasn't had much of an impact. I would make the argument Bryce Huff has had more of an impact than Michael Clemens.
Yeah. I'd say that's a safe argument too.
So, Clemens, hey, he's good to have on the team. He's good depth for sure. But like, if you were going to make a statement like this, it should be Carl Lawson or JFM or Quinnen, or even Bryce Huff, who brings the juice from the edge. But Clemens has been just kind of like good, solid. Maybe he'll get better. He's a rookie. Let's see. Good to have on the team. But
yeah. Well, and I'm excited about Clemens too. Like Frankie just said, I mean, he's here. He's going to be here for 4 years. They love him. He has had an impact. When he comes on, his impact is felt. But I don't think you can compare his impact to Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff, I think his first time he had 9 plays and 5 pressures or
3-4 pressures.
Yeah, right.
He comes in, he gets pressures. I mean, he's.
Yeah, and if you look at it, even this past week in Miami, there was a couple times that he was. I mean, he was the guy forcing, pressuring to throw the pass or making him step up into Quinnen. Like it happens.
right.
Bryce Huff is no joke, man. I mean,
Now, why he wasn't playing the first couple of games?
Yeah.
You might want to criticize Ulbrich on that one.
Well,
Like,
and we were. And
let's bring this kid who, pass rushing. You want to use him as a pass rushing specialist only? Great, perfect. I don't care. Bring him in when as needed.
I wonder who the spot was. Like, who was it? Like, who was the guy? No, we can't bring Bryce Huff. We need
Ethan Shepard. It's the whole
I know that.
It's the whole JFM, the outside inside thing. You'd have plenty of snaps for Bryce Huff if you just moved JFM permanently to a 3-tech.
I'm telling right. Yeah, it's a great point, man. And like this week with Jermaine Johnson out, like look, Bryce Huff, I'm sorry, JFM did have a great play. He caused the interception.
Playing great. Nobody hates JFM. We love JFM. Right. He's great. Yeah. He can be great on the outside. The point is, when you don't put him on the inside, Nathan Shepard has to get those snaps. That's the point. It's Nathan Shepard.
That's it.
When we have Bryce Huff in reserve, and we have Vinny Curry behind that if he ever comes back, and we have all these people on the edge, and we're not using them because we have to get Nathan Shepard in the game. That's the point.
Yeah. I mean, right. It's like that's now, like I said, his play where he caused the interception, he was playing end. So that's the argument. Look what he can do. But I think
we know that though. We already know JFM's a good end.
Well, he should be on the inside, and that's like look, I hate it when it's 3rd and 2, and we know they're going to run. You know who they trot out there? They trot out Solomon Thomas and Nathan Shepard.
Solly's another problem. Solly has not been good either.
No, he's not good.
We need at least one more defensive tackle. We need at least one more. Man, if we could have got Ogunjobi, man,
I know, dude,
so close.
I know, but they didn't want to pay him. He got paid,
Yeah, maybe
we get him. Here's the snap counts for this week. So let's just take a look. So Carl Lawson, he got an uptick. He got 3% or like 5% more than the week before. He got 73%. Quinnen Williams was up to 70 as well, which is
nice.
That's
good too.
John Franklin Myers, 44 snaps, 66%. Sheldon Rankin, 64%.
He's been playing good.
Yeah, he has. Solomon Thomas, 28%. Nathan Shepard, 22%. What's good is that he's going down. Now, good. Bryce Huff is 22%, which is nice. He's going up, right? He only had, I think it was like 7% or 6% the other week. So it's nice to see him getting 22%. And Jacob Martin is down 16%. Michael Clemens is also 15%. It's right around where I think he had 19%. So it's kind of the same area, one or two plays different. But Michael Clemens had 15% of the snaps. But yeah, the Nathan Shepard, Solomon Thomas, that's 28% and 22%. If you take, let's just say Solomon Thomas is 28%. Quinnen Williams, well, he's kind of on the left side. I've seen him on the right, but if Solomon Thomas wasn't coming in, I'm a firm believer that Quinnen Williams is better than those guys at what their specialty is, Frankie. Like, so Nathan Shepard and Solly are coming in to give a boost to the run defense. That's what they're supposed to come in and do. I would argue Quinnen Williams is better than that, better than you at that too. Like,
and so's JFM as a 3-tech, in my opinion.
Right, leave him in there.
Right.
Leave him in. Sneakers to Boots checking in. He says, Zach Wilson figuring out how to manipulate DBs with his eyes.
Yeah.
Listen, Zach, I saw a stat. Maybe somebody told me about a stat, and you can probably, it, Frankie. Zach Wilson, when he has a clean pocket, do you know this stat? He's the number one quarterback in the NFL or some shit like that.
Yeah, EPA, in expected points above average. Which basically means, when you keep the kid clean, good things happen. So can we get this offensive line solidified and playing a little bit better? I mean, it's only a couple of games, so, who knows?
Right.
But yeah, he has the highest EPA in the league. Any quarterback when kept clean. Through 2 games.
Imagine that. Yeah. So Sneakers to Boots. The whole thing with Zach, and we saw it the first week, he was quite literally running all over the place. Remember, he was underhand throwing it on the sideline. It was crazy town, But so if Zach Wilson can be kept clean in the pocket for, let's say,
3 seconds.
Yeah, but, you know,
One
I mean,
Mississippi, two Mississippi, three
right, 3
Mississippi.
seconds.
That's it. That's
We're
all we
going to
need.
see, and all that stuff that you're talking about, Sneakers to Boots, the ability to go through his progressions and
Right.
get to his second and third reads. Because there's a lot of times, and we talk about it all the time, when you look at the all 22 and you focus on, downfield and take your eyes off ball and just look at the skills running down the field. I mean, you can see it, man. Elijah Moore's open. Garrett Wilson is open. I mean, they're open.
Yeah.
You know? Now, again, I think one of the great points I think some people brought, I forget who I was talking to. I talked so many people, man. But one of the things, I think it might even been fucking Jeremy. I'm going to give Jeremy some credit here. Probably ill-placed.
Just give him credit anyway.
I'm going to give it to Jeremy. The fact that Mike LaFleur is actually running the same sets with different, I think it was Jeremy. Maybe it was Dom. Jeremy said that Mike LaFleur is running the same sets with different hot reads, different primary targets and all that sort of stuff. So what Zach's doing, even though we look at it and say, well, this and that and this, it's a different, there's a different desired outcome to each play. And what that can do is set things up later in the game and even later in the season when teams look at film and they're saying, all right, they do this and this out of this formation. When he can set that up and then do the next thing that maybe hasn't been on tape, that's when you start to really see some success coming out of an offense. And I think we're seeing some of that. Now, I think if Zach can really just get that 3 seconds consistently and be completely comfortable trusting his offensive line. I mean, he just played with Dwayne Brown for the first time ever. All right. That's the truth. He just played with, it's the first time ever AVT's on his right side. And now he's got Nate Herbig up there. And who's this Lakin Tomlinson guy? How you doing? I'm Zach Wilson. It's like these guys. So he's got to gain that confidence. I think that once we see that, if the primary receiver is covered and taken out, Zach Wilson's going to be able to not only look safeties off to clear what he's trying to get done, but there are guys already open. He doesn't even have to. He just needs to look. He needs to get that little fucking 6% kick with the eye. Just look over there. And there's Garrett Wilson streaking down the sideline. I think.
And the nice
a lot's going to happen.
Guy and the third guy are as likely to be open as the first guy. Like who, if you look at them, they're not Griffin and Trevon West, Keeble and Tariq Black and out there. These people are going to be open, so you give them time. They say there's the 3 Ps.
Let me get
3 Ps:
pork roll, pepper, and onions. That's Frankie. Frankie took off. I was just asking my guys, is that Frankie or is that me? I never know if it's me. So there goes Frankie, everybody. Frankie, look, he meant to say goodbye. He did. He loves you. Okay. He loves you. Now, am I still on, guys? Am I still on? I'm good. Okay. There he comes. Here comes Frankie.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? You started fritzing out maybe 30 seconds. I just sent in the private chat. I'm like, is that Frankie or is that me? I thought I was out. I'm like, here we go again.
I thought I saw something.
All I heard you say is Tariq Black. That's all I heard. Tariq Black.
But the 3 Ps, Green Bean. What are the 3 Ps?
Pork roll, Paris, and prostitutes.
No. The 3 Ps for quarterback success: play calling, protection, and playmakers. And it seems like now, in the protection's a week by week thing, got to see how it goes. But if we can get those 3 things, you should have then quarterback success. Because if you have those 3 things and the quarterback still stinks, then it's the quarterback, right? So
there it is. So poor Justin Fields has none of those things. Sam Darnold had none of them. Zach Wilson, on the other hand, look, so he has, look, I think in some respects, I don't love everything Mike LaFleur does, but you can't take away how incredibly creative he is. And he has the ability to scheme guys open. Look at the design of the Breece Hall wheel to the left. That was gorgeous, man. Yeah, it was gorgeous from start to finish. That play, Breece Hall was wide open before he even left the line of scrimmage. Miami did.
Yeah, the whole time.
Dude, he was gone.
Look, if you look at it on film, it's almost like, Zach, get him the ball. He's wide open.
Yeah.
And then when he throws it, you're like, that was even a little late, but still.
Yeah. It's very true. And I think, that's one of those things like Zach, I think is a touch hesitant at
Still, I
times
mean,
too.
yeah, of course.
But
He's
yeah,
not a finished product by any means yet.
right. Those are all the things like when you're looking at Zach's issues a lot of the time, it's things that, with time are clearly going to be, or you can at least work on them and
Yeah.
gain confidence. It's like, with Sam and the throwing off the back foot shit for 3 years. It was like, come on, man. Like, why
Yeah,
are you
that's a
still
great
doing
point.
this?
That's a
You
great
know?
point, Greenbean. You see Zach Wilson's back foot much better this year,
Oh
much
yeah.
better, and you see it solidifying. That's one of the things we talked about earlier in the season. If you wanted to watch something mechanical, watch the back foot. It needs to stay planted or come up forward, not backward. Now he still goes backward sometimes, so but for the
Yeah.
most part, he's been much better with that, and that's a good sign. Very good.
Yeah, I agree. Man. Jets Carpetbagger, what's up, buddy? Checking in. He says Frankie is what is this madness? Okay, Frankie is right. Criminal. Justin Fields was my favorite player out of the draft. So yeah, I mean, look, right,
I just
Frankie?
don't understand it. I don't understand it from an organizational philosophy point of view. You're going to take this kid. You spent a lot of capital to get this kid. It wasn't the same regime, but still, you spent all these draft picks. You set the Giants up real nice, to go up and get him, and you get him, and then you don't give him, and then you're taking Jaquan Brisker and other defensive player. What are you doing? Like from an organizational philosophy point of view, what is the point? You have to find out about Fields, and you got to have the playmakers, the protection, and the play caller, the 3 Ps. And if you have those and he still stinks, then it's on him and you move on. But if you don't, then you can't make an evaluation of any young quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, Justin Fields wasn't my favorite, but I liked Justin Fields plenty when he was coming out. You know what I mean? I
He's
was like,
fun to
yeah,
watch. When he's going good, he's fun as
yeah.
hell to watch. I like watching him.
Sure. I mean, he went up there. They've given him nothing. But again, I think one of the things that really, I think the Jets are focusing on that maybe we haven't seen in the past is what does this guy bring into the team? Like, okay, sure, they're all talented, right? Okay, these guys are on the same talent tier. They got the arm, they got all the stuff. But this guy's kind of an asshole. And this guy's super quiet and reserved, and he's from California, and he doesn't challenge anybody. He's super nice, super polite, and then you got this guy who's a firecracker, and it's like, but says the right thing, super hard worker. Like when you have those 3 guys, you say, okay, well, this is the guy I want. Maybe you want the asshole. It's like, while Mike McCagnon said when he drafted Jamal Adams, he took him because he thought he was a culture changer. He thought that was what this team needed. They needed that fire, that everything that Jamal Adams was. Now you learn, he's not necessarily a team building fire, but that's what he thought.
Changer. He may be a culture changer, but he's going to change your culture into a heaping pile of dung, and you may not want that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. And it's like, look, some people are going to prefer that, like that. They're going to want that. And I like that the Jets don't right now. Bring in guys that are super uber talented, but that look, it's about the team. Like, look, you see, look at like Garrett Wilson in Cleveland. He got that he landed out of bounds on his back from like 6 feet in the air. And, we thought, oh, he's done. Yeah. You know what I mean? So many times in the past, he he brushed it off, and a couple of plays later, he's running back in, like, wait a second.
I like the little things, man. So to me, the little things mean so much. And that's why I love the story about AVT and Elijah Moore with the helmet that we talked about last week.
Yeah, right.
To me, those little things tell you so much about a person, that AVT had the character to do that. On top of everything else, the talent, the leadership, the passion, attention to detail is very important.
I could not agree more. And that's the stuff. Like they say, football's a game of inches, right?
Yep.
And seconds. And that's the truth of it all. And it's like, in addition to that, it's about those finer details. Like, look, everybody on this level is talented. Right. You know what I mean? There are guys that would be the most talented person you've ever played with that can't make it there. Or they're practice squad for a year and then they're out. They can't. But if you watch them play, like this guy, he's 6'4", he's great vertical, super fast. These are the best in the world. So yes, some guys are more talented. When you get up there, you get elite and you get great and all those kinds of things. But everybody's super crazy talented. The difference is things like work ethic, like those little, really stickler for the rules. That extra, like Michael Carter said, I want to go. What do you say?
I got to get 1 yard faster, coach.
1 yard faster, right?
They caught me from behind twice. It happened twice, coach. I didn't like it. What happened twice, Michael? They caught me from behind. It gives me nightmares, coach. Nightmares. He's thinking about this.
And I love that they're keeping them on the field at the same time, Frankie. I couldn't be more
That's
delighted.
One of my favorite things, the pony package. I love it.
I love it.
The Packers do that too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, right.
Know.
And we're going to see that. But
we're going to see the pony package. Yeah. It's trouble. It's hard to deal with.
Well, right, man. And we saw it. We saw how effective it can be. And we're just getting started. But Michael Carter and Breece Hall together on the field, great move because they're both so incredibly talented. Drillo checking in. He says, I know Fields has a terrible situation, but is it me or does he seem to take forever with his throwing motion?
Well, he doesn't have a quick throwing motion, but it's quick enough. I think it's a matter of trusting his reads. Like when you have a team like this, it's hard to diagnose the issue. That's the whole point of having the 3 Ps, right? Because if you don't have them, does he not trust his receivers because they're going to drop it? And if I trust this guy, do I really want to throw it when I could run? And if he doesn't trust his protection, is he going to stay in the pocket long enough? Find a guy. So it becomes very hard to evaluate someone if you don't have the 3 Ps there. That's the whole point. You need them there to know, is it the quarterback or not? Right now, it's a combination of all these things. And so what the hell are they going to do? Like you can't make an evaluation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. And look, Carpetbagger getting back, and he says Justin's poor statements is partly poor coaching and lack of good administration at the Bears. Bears suck. He'd be different on the Niners. Well, it's a good point. We know that. When these guys go to different regimes, like look at just last year, Mac Jones landed in an established Patriots system.
Right.
And look at him.
Right.
Is he the best quarterback? Probably not. But he was in the best situation, so we saw it. We saw the results of that. But at the same time too, it's like they say about, like when when you buy a puppy, you get a dog and your dog is acting like, aggressive. I've brought my dogs to trainers and they say temperament's the one thing you can't train out of a dog. You can train it to listen, be obedient, but if they're aggressive, they're aggressive. And like, you can't, it's what they are. It's their temperament. I think to some degree, personality is in that, not to compare fucking players to dogs, but that mentality. Like, yes, great coaching, good administration, all that has incredible benefit and impact. But if he doesn't respond to it, then there's that too. Right now, I don't know which side it is. I think you're right, at least to some degree. But I'm not so sure that Justin Fields would definitely be another way somewhere else.
But you could evaluate him. If you put Justin Fields on the Niners, for example, like they were going to do with Trey Lance this year before he got hurt, you would know by the end of the year what Justin Fields is, because he would have enough around him that you could make the evaluation. That's the point. He might not be any good on the Niners, but if he wasn't, then it's on him, and you got to move on at that point, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you, man. It's interesting, with these guys. I'm just happy that we have a guy that got the arm strength, got the mobility, he's got the work ethic, and the team camaraderie. Like, they love him. You know what I mean?
They love him. That's another thing about Zach that people aren't talking about. The teammates love him, so that's really great.
Yeah. And it's not to say that the teammates didn't love Sam. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say anything negative about Sam and the way he handled himself, right? Like, he's a good dude, he's consummate pro, but the one thing where he lacked is like, where there's no inspiration. He's just like, all right.
Yeah. There's no fire. There's no let's go score an effing touchdown. Zach,
just that alone, walking into the
huddle. Score an effing touchdown, baby. Let's go. Like, he's into it. He loves it. It's really good. It's really nice. And then he backs it up with his play, and that's the important part. Usually, not always.
Right.
Here's
Oh, look
another.
at
Here's
this.
another sack. Oh boy, Jesus
Oh, you're,
criminy! I think Fields is going to the hospital. This is insane. This kid, how many hits can he take? I mean, one thing you could say he's tough as nails, for God's sakes. I mean, this might be the toughest kid of all besides Joe Burrow. I mean, Jesus. He's just getting
yeah.
hit
Joe
all
Burrow's
over the
another
place
one.
by these monsters. Jesus.
Right. All I know is that the Bengals were 4-11-1 and went to the Super Bowl. So, guys, I'm just saying it. Okay, I'm just saying it. Jets New York 102 checking in. He says it's interesting that when our schedule came out, Frankie, the pundits knew we'd be playing Mitch Trubisky and Jacoby Brissett. They still said we'd go 0-5. Now that we're winning, they say, look who we played.
That's what's going to happen, though. This is what we as Jets fans have to expect. Right. If we get killed, they're going to say you're a joke. If we barely lose, they're going to say we're losers. If we win by a little, they're going to say we were lucky. If we kill them, then they had injured players and there's some excuse. This is what's going to happen. Just get ready, collect the tears, drink them up, and that's it. This is what's going to happen. And just book it. It is. No matter what we do, there will always be a narrative that it wasn't good enough. And so the only way to get around that is to build a long-term program where you consistently win over time. And then eventually that stuff fades away. And they say, look what these guys are doing. They have the program, they have the rings, they have this, they have that.
And they say, I've been on that, but I've been with it the whole time.
I always knew.
Yeah.
I always knew, Salah.
That's right. Like, look, man, Brady Quinn was on with Leger Douzable this past weekend. He literally said, I never said the Jets would go 0-9. I said that they would be difficult to blah, 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 blah. No, you didn't, butthole. The recording is out there. He said there is a realistic scenario where I could see the Jets going 0-9 at maybe 1-8. That's what he said. All right.
And you know what? His justification for that is even worse. He said when he started getting flack on Twitter from Jet fans, of course, because we're a bunch of maniacs, we attacked him like a bunch of caged animals. He said, "Listen, Jet fans, if you're upset with what I said, how many of those games, that you're going to be playing in the beginning of the season, are you going to be favored by?" Which shows you he has no idea what he's talking about because he's just going off the Vegas odds. And it's true. It's true that we weren't going to be favored. But the point is that you're Brady effing Quinn. You're on television. You're supposed to be more knowledgeable than the guy at the bar, talking sports and saying, I think you're supposed to have an elevated sense of knowledge and understanding based on film study and understanding the draft and everything else. You are not supposed to be the same as some guy at the end of the bar just talking out of his butthole, that's the problem I had with Brady Quinn.
Yeah, and there's just so many of them like that. I mean, they're just talking. They're like you don't have to research anything to say that the Jets are going to lose this week. You know what I mean? Like you would have been right. 78% of the time the last 5 years. They said the Jets are going to lose. You're like, and you're leading the office pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Congratulations.
That's right.
You read the tea leaves. You're a soothsayer. Thank you very much, Brady effing Quinn.
Yeah. So there's a whole thing going. I'm going to address this in there. I want you to know I see this conversation going on. Old dude, I love you too. Understand this. The fact that I complain about something 1 week and then a week later, something different happens and I feel a different way. That is absolutely appropriate. I'm telling you how I feel about what just happened. If it's different, I can feel differently. Okay. And I say it though. I said it the whole time. I've said it in every video I've made the past 2 weeks that we've been winning. I've said it on both Thursday thick of it. We have been critical of Saleh and Ulbrich, and I think rightfully so. They are changing things, and I like it. I've also said a million times, I'm really hoping that these coaches fucking figure it out so we don't have to start over again. Like, I'm rooting for these guys.
Right.
But listen, if they go out this week and they come out flat, and they just get rolled over on national TV and we look, it's a boring game and it's 31-7 or 6, 2 field goals, I'm going to be upset. I want you to know. And you want to know why? Because I'm not carrying 2 victories into the loss. I'm going to say this loss was shit. And here's what I didn't like about it. And I want you guys to know, like, it doesn't mean one thing or another. We are fans, right? We are fans of the New York Jets, just like you guys are. Like, that's what we're doing here. I want you to know, when you jump up and cheer, I'm jumping up and cheering. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And if they take it away because of a holding, I go, yeah, you suck. That's what I do. Okay. And if they lose, I go, that's fucking bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. I do the whole thing. And then they turn around in the 4th quarter with 1:55 left and they score 14 points. And I go, this is the best. That's what I do. And I'm allowed to. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that we react to what's before us. You know, you guys know I'm always positive. I'm always looking at the positive side. That doesn't mean I don't get negative. Doesn't mean I don't, just like old dude said, I get caught on the roller coaster too. But just know this. Being on the roller coaster is being a fan. Like being right all the time. I don't even know what that is. People say to me, hey man, don't forget, you know, you hated Garrett Wilson. I'm like, you are dead wrong. I didn't hate Garrett Wilson. It's like, if you're going to take your notes, these guys out here, fucking get it right. You know, I said I didn't want to use number 10 on a wide receiver. And let me just tell you something. The guys that I wanted, the Jahan Dotsons and the Pickens and all that, they're doing fine. So I'm very happy with Garrett Wilson. I love that if they were going to use the 10th pick on a wide receiver, I said that a million times. I hope it's Garrett Wilson. I don't think we need to, but if we do, I hope it's Garrett Wilson. So it's like, but who cares if I'm right or wrong? You know what I mean? Who gives a shit? I just want the Jets to win. Right, Frankie? That's all I want.
I mean, we talked about it a lot. We want the Jet coaches to be right, even when we were critical of them. And even as we're critical of them now with JFM on the outside, the inside, I hope Nathan Shepard has 3 sacks on Sunday. I do. I want Nathan Shepard to play well.
Dude,
just like
totally.
I wanted LaMarcus Joyner to play well. All the times we were criticizing him the first 2 games, we were saying, we hope he turns it around. We hope he has a killer game. We hope we're wrong. And the Jet coaches are right. It's much more important for the Jet coaches to be right than for me and GreenBean and Jeremy and Y2K to be right. Much more important. So I'm hoping they're right and we're wrong.
Hell
and so far, we've been wrong about LaMarcus Joyner. He's played well the last 3 weeks. Good job.
That's right. Not so far, just the last couple weeks, you know, but those first 2 weeks, let me tell you why we were complaining about him. Because he was giving up touchdowns.
He was playing poorly. He was sucking.
Dude, let me just say this. Here, emergency update. Carson Wentz just flat out rolled Roquan Smith a second ago. You'll see it. It's a thing of beauty. I can't even believe it happened. Here he comes. I'm going to get him. I'm going to make the tackle. Boom! Dude, I've never seen a quarterback lay out a mean linebacker like that in my life. Anybody see that?
I'm behind.
And I hate Carson Wentz, but dude, come on. That's the goods. That's football. Why didn't you call a penalty? That quarterback shouldn't be allowed to hit him like that. Call a penalty. What is this?
Yeah, Bears. So they spend all that money. Oh.
You see it?
That's beautiful.
Nice watch it. It's even better in slow-mo, Frankie. Watch it. They're going to show it again in a second.
Nice job, Wentzy.
That's what you want. Kyle Ornsby checking.
Now, wait a minute. I don't want Zach doing that, though.
No, he's little. Zach, little.
Zach, you don't have to do that, please.
You know what's funny?
Carson Wentz is fine to do that, but
Zach is 6'2.5".
Yeah.
And he looks like he's 5'9" to me when he's out there. I'm like, don't hurt him. You know what I mean?
when he plays better, he'll grow in stature.
Yeah, right. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll get taller. Did Drew Brees get taller? I don't know. I think he got shorter. Kyle Ornsby, thank you for the super chat. He says, this Washington and Chicago game is so boring. I'd rather watch my Feelings. Yeah. Well, I mean, up until that hit, I mean, now it's 12-7 and looks like the Skins are about to score again. Look at this. Carson Wentz throwing it out of the end zone. He sucks. I don't know what happened to that guy. Let me tell you something. Carson Wentz, just last year, the Colts got rid of him because of his personality. The team hated him, they said.
And so did the Eagles.
Yeah, he had 27. I think, forgive me if I'm off on number 2. 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. Is that what it was? Somebody want to look that up or anything?
Yeah, and they hated his guts.
They hated him.
And last week, when they asked Coach Ron Rivera, what happened? Why'd you lose the game, Coach? He said, quarterback. That was his answer. When your head coach, when asked, why'd you lose the game, Coach, says, quarterback, I don't know. That's not good. That's not good. Now, he tried to walk back the comments, the next day, but still, in the heat of the moment, when asked what happened out there, Coach, he said, quarterback. That was his answer. One word.
What'd he say?
Quarterback.
Ah, right. Well, I'll tell you what.
And that's a head coach with a lot of experience who's in front of the media,
And who's a big fan of Carson Wentz.
Impact of that's going to be, right? Like he's not some neophyte going to, oops, shouldn't have said that. This is an experienced guy.
Right. That was calculated. He thought about it. You know how quick they can think? They go, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
And that's a guy who traditionally, since he's been in the NFL, has been in his corner. You know what I mean? They've been together.
Yeah.
Shivanasu Prasad, better known as Lima Bean. Darn, you know what's funny? He's even calling. I hear him on shows calling up, going, "Hey, this is Lima Bean. I love it, dude. Embrace it. It's Lima Bean now.
We need more beans.
Why not? We got GreenBean's burner in here. You got fucking Lima Bean. Why not? Hold on. My wife is staring at me ominously. I feel like she's mad.
Uh-oh. This is not going to go well.
Are you mad?
No, I need you to take the dog.
Anytime you have to ask
no
someone,
problem.
are you mad? That doesn't go well.
That was a take the dogs out before you go to sleep.
I guess that was a directive.
Yeah, she says it in a question, like, can you please? But I know what it is. We're celebrating our 15th wedding anniversary this year. I know the scoop. You know what I mean?
Congratulations. 15 years of dog poop cleaning.
That's right. The whole time. That's all it is. Lima Bean says Darnold was roasted regardless of his situation, what his situation was. Fields has a terrible throwing motion, bad processor, overused athleticism, too many. Same thing with Darnold, man. Darnold had very, very poor mechanics. The one thing he did work on from college to the pros was his fumbling and all that stuff. Like he had that too. It's just a funny thing. He was, as a prospect, he was, very studly, lots of potential, but he needed to go somewhere that would like mold him.
Yeah.
And we didn't even give him a quarterback coach. 2 regimes didn't give him a quarterback coach. So I think, but I'm with you with Justin Fields. I still think there's a lot there. I mean, these guys, we write guys off nowadays, like in year 1, year 2, year 3. I think that's look at Geno Smith. Not that anybody was going to give him 9 years to develop, but oh, okay. Jeremy's out. Oh, I didn't get to bring him on. All right. Jeremy's gone. All right. Jets chaos, everybody. I would have brought him on and so he could say goodbye to you guys. But anyway, let's see. Y2K, did you give me that stat? How many did he have, Y2K? I'm sorry. I thought you were doing that. It's Pacific. What is this? It'd be trivia 2 in the morning. No, it's just, it's a regular touch. 2-hour show. 2-hour show. That's all. I'll bring you on in 5 minutes. Let's see what else is here. So anyway, yeah, that's what I think, Lima Bean. That's what it is. Then he got, you're back. And when he and another thing, I love it. It's fantastic. And when he has time, he misses and holds the ball. Yeah, I think, look, I mean, you could say it right. Justin Fields right now, you can say it either way. And I think you're right. Like, that's the truth. You can think, like lean one way or the other. The truth is he has no infrastructure or no established infrastructure. They didn't do very much for him in the draft. They went and got him a bunch of like scrubs to kind of fill gaps, very similar to what the Jets did to Sam Darnold. And look, I mean, Sam Darnold, he had Ryan Griffin, he had Trevon Wesco, he had, Chris Hogan and Dante Moncrief, and they had Terrell Pryor. As soon as he throws, Terrell Pryor gets 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks, and they cut him midseason for no reason, never gave us a reason, nothing, just gone. His number 1 target. So like there's a lot of similarities, and if Justin Fields can rise above it, that says something. Oh my God, dude. That's going to be a flag. Yeah, dude, the guy just dove at his knee. He might be done. His knee bent back. He might be done. Speaking of the devil there, Lima Bean. Nope, he's doing push-ups. I'm just kidding. I don't know. He's walking it off, though. That's good. That was scary looking.
But yeah,
Modine. No, nobody's like Modine Hennessy, dude. You don't even know that guy. I just told him, he writes me diatribes. On my videos, I just say, dude, you're working really hard to be a miserable fuck. I'll tell you, man. Like, I can't even believe 9 paragraphs to tell me why this actually isn't fun. I don't give 2 shits. I'm having a good time. I told him this isn't working. So whatever you're doing. I mean, I appreciate Modine. I appreciate all you guys, but it's like, I don't know, man. That's really hard work to be miserable. Nobody should work that hard to be unhappy, in my opinion. Lima Bean, again, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. And I forgot to mention, you son of a bitch. If the Bears committed malpractice by drafting a safety for Fields, wouldn't we have done the same by drafting Kyle Hamilton as you were advocating? No. Not in the slightest. Completely different.
Right.
Completely different. Plus, I mean, we gave Zach Wilson the first 4 picks of our last year's draft were offense, bro. You know what I mean? And I was advocating taking Pickens with our 2nd round pick. Right. And or Christian Watkins or Jahan, whoever made it. I mean, this was a good wide receiver class, evidenced by what they're doing.
Yeah.
Look around. I don't want to say I'm not happy with Garrett Wilson when they picked him. Again, I want to say, if they were going to use the 10th pick on a wide receiver, I said it many times. I hope it's Garrett Wilson. He's the guy that I would hope that they do that for. But, I'm okay with waiting till the 2nd to get our edge rusher. And don't forget, at the time, we didn't have a 3rd first-round pick, all that stuff. So a lot changed on draft night. And look, I maintain, if it was me running the draft, and this does not mean that I'm not ecstatic with how it's working out for us. If it was me, I would have taken Thibodeau, Hamilton, and Pickens. That's what I would have came away with. Not too bad. You know what I mean? And we'll see how it goes out. That said, I'm ecstatic with fucking Sauce Gardner. I never said I didn't like Sauce Gardner. I just didn't want to go cornerback that high. That's all. I love that. I love Sauce and Garrett Wilson. I love Jermaine Johnson and Brees. So I love the whole thing. It's great. But I would have did it differently. And maybe I'm wrong.
Plus, you got to look at the whole offseason, not just one pick. It's the whole offseason. It's the draft class. It was the previous draft class, the previous offseason.
Tight ends. We got him another guard. It's a whole different thing.
You got to look at it holistically, not just not just about Jaquan Brisker. We were making a joke. A lot of times when you make a joke, GreenBean, people then say, you said this. It's like we were making an example or a joke, man. Relax.
Yeah. Lima Bean's around, though. He knows the deal. I mean, he's busting my balls. But it's like, no, I think that's absolutely 2 completely different scenarios. Agreed. Completely different. They were letting guys like Allen Robinson go. We were bringing guys like Elijah Moore, AVT, Michael Carter in. Conklin, Uzome. We were bringing those guys in. Right. That's, so we were stocking the cupboards. And I still wanted a wide receiver. Would you guys be unhappy? Let me just, I got to look at this fucking draft again. Because I mix it up.
There were a lot. I would have been happy with, I said at the time, I would have been happy with Olave, Wilson, London. They're all doing
totally.
Well. I like.
Let me just tell you here's the wide receivers that went in the 2nd round. Let me see here. I think, where the hell did Pickens go? I think did he go earlier? Let me see here.
Pickens, I think he's a 2nd rounder, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So here's the 2nd round wide receivers. Christian Watson, who's fantastic. He's hurt though.
Very fast.
We have Wan'Dale Robinson, who admittedly I think he's doing great for the Giants, isn't he?
He's doing okay. I don't think he's doing great.
Yeah. I haven't really kept up with him. You got John Mechie. Let's see.
Mechie, but he was
Tyquan Thornton, who's hurt for New England.
Yeah.
George Pickens, Alec Pierce, Sky Moore.
Think about the Patriots. They could have taken George Pickens and they took Ty Thornton.
Totally.
Maybe Ty Thornton will be great. I don't know. He hasn't played, but they could have had George Pickens. Geez.
Right. The Bears waited till the 3rd round and took Velus Jones Jr.
Yeah, and he's doing special teams work for them right now. So
yeah. So again, look, I want to make sure that this is very, very clear. I am in love with the idea Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson. We got my edge rusher. We got a defensive back. I wanted a safety. What's been one of our issues until the last 2 weeks? Safety. And I still think we're going into this offseason more than likely with a need at safety. You know what I mean? That's fine. It's fine. Again, Sauce Gardner, dude, I couldn't be happier. But the way I would have done it, I would have secured that edge rusher with pick 4. Waiting till 26, that was luck, in my opinion. That was Joe Douglas worked his ass off for it, man. You got to commend him. And I love the way it worked out. But that's a dangerous little gamey poo. We almost made it out of the first without an edge rusher. And that would have been a travesty, in my opinion. So, anyway, we all got our things. Red John checking in. He said, who's your favorite Jets that wasn't with the team long? Oh, yeah, right. Mine, Chris Jenkins, Chris Ivory, and Johnny Johnson. I'm 48 for a little context. Johnny Johnson was fun, wasn't he, Red John? He was only with 3 years, I think, we got out of Johnny Johnson. But you know what he did do? He crushed the Blair Thomas era, which I think that was good. That was good to see. Get the fuck out of here, Blair Thomas. I gotta say, I really love his examples, Frankie. I really do. I want to hear what Y2K has to say on this too. Hey, you ready to come on, Y2K, and then we'll do some trivia? Let's bring on the president of the Virginia Jets fan club, CEO, executive from New York Sports, Wicker Media, an all-around nice fellow. Let's say hello to Y2K. What's up there, buddy?
I am doing great. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
We're just yucking it up with Lima Bean, trying to make me look bad.
Late night with Frank
Presidente.
Yeah. You know how it is. So let's answer Red John's question. I think Chris Jenkins and Chris Ivory are fantastic options there. I'm going to say a name that 99% of you are not even going to know who I'm talking about, but I loved him. He had his career just tragically cut short in preseason by a dirty son of a bitch Giants player.
Damn it.
Total late hit. His name was Pat Chafee. And he was one of my favorites. Yeah, that's right.
That was going to be the answer to our trivia question tonight.
I gave it up.
This is why GreenBean is the Jets historian and / librarian. Somebody needs to get him an official job, because who in the hell ever heard of that guy?
I know. Let's do this. All right. So, Frankie, why don't you answer this first? Who do you got?
I think Chris Jenkins is a great one. I hadn't thought about this much. I don't know. All of my favorites from my childhood were longtime Jets. They were the main guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, Y2K. Let Frankie stew on this for a minute. Short-term Jets, maybe 2 years, 3 years. Who do you got?
I had two that came to mind. I put one name in the chat, and that was number 36, Jimmy Leonard, now the head coach of the University of Wisconsin Badgers.
But how long was he on our team? I think of him as a long-time Jet.
He really was. He came with Rex, but he was 3 years at the absolute most. I think it might have been 2.
I go with Jimmy Leonard. He was awesome. Very underrated.
He really was. I mean, when he got hurt, he did not play, I think, in the 45-3 game against the Patriots, and that was one of the biggest differences in that game. That's why they lost it the way they did, because they didn't have his leadership on the field. Because, he may have really been the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah, he was a leader for sure.
Yeah,
he's a guy he's a guy you could look at and say, if Ulbrich doesn't work out here, maybe we bring Jimmy Leonard up from the college ranks.
Well,
how about that for an idea?
Oh, I'm game. Yeah, I would.
He's known to be very creative, and his defense is known to be very creative, innovative, adaptive. All those things that we were saying Ulbrich is not. So if things were to go south with Ulbrich, I mean, he has Jet ties. I'd say bring him on up.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great idea. And the other one who came to mind.
Well,
these two guys actually. Yeah, go ahead. You're fine.
Hold on. Yeah, I just want to point out. So this is, and I'm gonna let you do that, but I want to show. This is Pat Chafee. Okay, you see, he's real
evidence.
Right? But I want you to see the value that you can get a Pat Chafee card, 1993, for $0.75,
and that's exactly what it's worth.
That's what I'm saying. So there you go. Pat Chafee, everybody. So yeah, he's real.
$750
He's a real guy. Look at this guy. Let's look at his stats. Hold on a second here.
He has stats.
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 Yeah, he had
Third on the team in rushing
27
and
attempts for 186 yards, 6.9 yard average. Frankie. Okay,
I like how in the first year it just says did not play.
he did not play that year.
I also
It
did
was
not
a
play that
redshirt season for Mr.
He was third on the Jets with 186 yards.
Woohoo!
I think Cedric Houston had more rushing yards than that.
Yeah, but again, this is another where he was his value was he was a great like third back, right? He was good to come in, get you 5-6 yards, but he had 13 special teams tackles. He was like that guy. You know what I mean? He was depth, but you loved him on special teams. And dude, he got picked up and slammed. A very dirty hit from the Giants, and it's sad. It's sad, guy's career. And look, nobody knows who the hell he is. He was a Jet. He was one of those guys. He played his fucking balls to the wall, man. And he's like, I like this guy. And then poof, now he's an accountant. You know what I mean? Just
Now
like
he's an accountant.
shit. I got to go count. All right, who was your second guy, Watsuke?
I got to mention Andre Roberts from 2018. He had such a good season as our punt and kick returner. He was a Pro Bowler. He was an All-Pro. He was our first All-Pro player in 7 years since Revis. And, we let him go. Him and Jason Myers, both of them. They were both Jets for 1 year. And Mike McCagnon let them both go after the offseason. And, it's taken basically up until this year to find credible – last year at Barrios, but to find a credible kicker, we didn't have one since that time. So I really liked Andre Roberts when he was.
I think that's a great pull, and we let him go. Him and Chris, we had him and Myers, 2 Pro Bowl special teamers. Mac went, I don't need those guys.
Yeah.
And Andre Roberts played like 5 more years.
He did.
Fucking guy.
Yeah, I think he was just placed on injured reserve September 13th by Carolina.
This year.
This year.
Holy macaroni.
He's not retired.
Why Matt Rule got fired.
Yeah, he's still around. So.
Like you
that was when Matt Rule's job went. Yeah, that's when he was done. When they lost Andre Roberts.
That's funny, man. That's a great question, Red John. Thank you. Paris saying there's only one bean, green bean. I like that.
All right, let's see.
Wait a minute. With Matt Rule gone, are we gonna be able to trade for any of the Carolina Panthers?
No.
Why not?
Look, the value. Let me tell you something, man. First of all, good for Matt Rule. Okay, he's a piece of shit. He's got low sportsmanship, in my opinion. Okay, low sportsmanship. Now, some people say, "Hey, take whatever advantage you can." I disagree. I do not feel that way. I think show up with what you got, like play by, the unwritten rules. I'm a big unwritten rules guy. Respect for me. I respect you. Like we talked about there's no rule that says you can't hit the quarterback in preseason, but everybody, I don't want my quarterback beat, hurt. So I'm going to take it easy on yours kind of a thing. And we saw Quincy Williams level Jalen Hurts, and Salah should have taken him out and all those kinds of things that we said. But it's like those kinds of things. I think Matt Rule has low sportsmanship, and it bit him in the ass. And look, clearly he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I mean, he came in, the first thing he did was cut Cam Newton to sign Teddy Bridgewater. A year later, he doesn't want Teddy anymore. He gets rid of him, pays his money, but trades him for nothing, and then goes and gets Sam Darnold, which in my opinion is probably one of the biggest reasons that he got fired. Then he said, okay, one more chance. Let me go get Baker Mayfield, the first overall pick. He already got the 3rd overall pick from that draft. I need the 1st overall pick, and he sucks. And it's like, dude, there's way too much talent on that team. Joe Brady was the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, are they going to do a full rebuild now? Maybe they would like some draft pickety picks, and maybe we could get us as Shaq Thompson. Maybe we could get ourselves a defensive tackle. Maybe we could get a Jeremy Chin, perhaps. Maybe we could get a little extra something on the defense.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's possible, I guess. Let's see. I don't want to give away any of our picks, though, Frankie. But let me say this: if we're like let's say
I mean,
we
Brian
really
Burns,
do.
you wouldn't give up picks for
I
Brian
love Brian
Burns?
Burns. Yeah, I love Brian Burns.
I mean,
Well, let
come
me
on.
say this. Let's say hypothetically. Now, I'm not predicting. I'm not looking ahead. We're just talking. We're friends. We're sitting down at a cup of coffee. Let's say hypothetically, the Jets win 2 of the next 3, and we go into the bye. Right? That's the bye. We go into the bye.
Then we got 4 more. 4
more.
till the
So
bye.
let's say 3 of the next 4. Then okay. Let's say real. So we beat the Packers. We beat
we got the Broncos, then the Patriots, then the Bills.
Right.
Yeah, then we got the Bills.
I'll get
We're not
there.
beating the Bills.
Just patience, man. I know I got it. It's just jumbled. It's it's messy up here. I gotta move shit, So let's say we beat the Packers, the Broncos, and the Patriots, and we lose to the Bills, and we go into this damn bye at 6, and am I 6-1 or 6-3? I mean, and we're missing a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. I'm
Missing
in.
Need a little edge rush. Need a little more edge rush. We need a little Brian Burns. Play a little linebacker.
Okay.
Oh, he missed it.
3rd, 4th round pick. You're gonna give me an edge, or you're gonna give me a defensive tackle, somebody big and beefy. I'll give you Nathan Shepard and a 5th.
Right.
For a Joe Douglas trade, I could actually see that happening. It'd have to be a conditional 5th, though.
Y2K. You're not wrong, Y2K.
We'll throw in Denzel, too. You can have a little Denzel.
Might as well at this point. If you're not,
let's not
have a career, man. You know what I mean? Now they're just stealing his damn prime. What are you doing to this kid? Fat Gandalf checking in. Thank you, buddy, for the super chat. He says, Bean, it's mid-October. Are we going to be doing mock drafts next week?
No.
Next
Gandalf, and that's a good thing.
Here's my prediction, Fat Gandalf. Still the best name out there, by the way. You were early. I fell in love with that name early, man. I think I was online for a month, and I saw Fat Gandalf. I'm like, that is brilliant. Here's my prediction. If the Jets get shellacked on national TV this weekend, there will be someone doing a mock draft online this week, coming week. I guarantee it. It ain't going to be me, but I'll tell you it's coming. It'll be Jeremy. Jeremy will be like, let's just do a mock.
And he'll take Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Right. We'll
right.
have to act like we know like some 3rd string like left tackle out of Coastal Carolina or something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoever's got the coolest sounding name, that's who we'll draft.
And that's funny. It's like, right, if we're going to do that, now we're firing the coach. Now we're getting a new quarterback. Oh my God, we went from there, like the pendulum, all the way to the other extreme. And it would be very Jets-like. I mean, that's who we are. We just got to embrace it. It's like when people get all angry with each other. Like, we already know we're going to do that. It's like I was putting up lighting fixtures earlier today. And I put Jake Assman on. He was live. I said, hello. He said, hello. And then he said, somebody said, what happens if the Jets lose? And Jake Assman said, well, the Jets fans are going to want to fire everybody. What do you think is going to happen? He's 100% right. He's 100% right. Lima Bean's back. He says, my fear of waiting too long for, we're okay. All right. We're back in the draft of last year. Okay. Gotcha. My fear of waiting too long for a wide receiver was a repeat of 2000. I respect your rationale, but it's too risky. By the way, 2014, what happened in 2014? We took a wide receiver in 2000. I don't remember taking a wide receiver in the 2nd round in 2014, Lima Bean. I think you're fucking crazy, buddy.
I'll take a quick look, but
I think it was Jalen Saunders in the 4th round.
That was the whole Idzik draft? That was the whole Idzik draft?
I think so. Let me see here. I'll tell you right now. Here it is.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's exactly right. That was Saunders in the 4th, Evans in the 4th, and Quincy in the 6th.
Yeah. So we didn't wait till the 2nd. Let me just tell you. Let's take a look at who the 2nd round wide. I don't even know who they were, but let's take a look at the 2nd round wide receivers that year. We got Marquise Lee, Jordan Matthews. Both of them had really good first couple of years. Jordan Matthews fell off a cliff, man. I really liked him on the Eagles. He was good.
There's some interesting names in this list.
Devontae Adams. You're nervous about taking Devontae Adams there, Line. Allen Robinson, Jarvis Landry. These are the guys we passed, man.
Wow.
Dante Moncrief, who look, he had a really good first 3 or 4 years. Maybe not, number 1 receiver, but he was very strong, dude. John Brown, I don't know who the hell that is.
He was with the Bills for a little while. John
Was he?
Brown.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
John
predicts
Brown.
that John Brown. Right.
Right on.
Yeah.
So that's like, look, if you're comparing it to two, I wasn't saying wait till the fourth round. I was saying wait till the second. Now, in my opinion, or at the time, I thought more guys were going to make it to the second round. So that's one of that was the rationale with taking Garrett Wilson, is that there's going to be a run on these wide receivers. And when the second round comes, you're going to be dropping a full tier. And that was I think that almost happened. Like there was only a couple left. And I thought there'd be 3 or 4 more wide receivers, particularly Jahan Dotson. I think that the Redskins overdrafted him, but he looks great for them. So who knows, man, but anyway, I still think the rationale of waiting till the second round, if you look at the first 10 picks in the second round, which is where the Jets were in the first 5 picks, all right, 2 second round picks in the first 5. When you look at the last 5 or 6 years of wide receivers taken in that place, the first 10 picks of the second round, it's going to blow your doors off, man. It's like DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. I mean, it goes on and on and on, man. Debo Samuel. It's like complete studs. It's a sweet spot. So that's what I was saying. And again, I'm very happy with Garrett Wilson. I love that it's him. Love it. At the time, that was my rationale. Comparing it to 2014, I don't think is fair because we passed on Devontae Adams and the rest to get to Jalen Saunders, dude. That was the mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also
Lima Bean's back, Frankie.
Joe Douglas wasn't our GM then.
No, that was Idzik, right?
That was Idzik.
That's all you need to know.
The Idzik 12.
I mean, Joe Douglas doesn't get everything right, but I mean, look at his hit rate. It's pretty doggone good.
It's pretty good. So Lima Bean's back. Yeah, look, I know it's a serious question, but you're also rubbing come on, let's be real here, Lima Bean. Fucking, you're bringing up Kyle Hamilton. Of course, that's busting my balls. I was the old last Jets fan that wanted him. Nobody wanted Kyle Hamilton except for me. I couldn't find anybody. I needed friends.
What's interesting? You know what's interesting about Kyle Hamilton and thinking about it now? Maybe he'll become a really good player, but I remember reading the draft reports, the prospect profile, and people saying this is a unicorn. Like I've never seen, this is the best prospect I have ever evaluated in my 10, 15 years of evaluating players. And then he comes into the league and it's like, this guy seems okay, but the best prospect you've ever seen in your whole life. So I don't know. I don't know about that. I've been thinking about that lately. It's odd.
Yeah. I mean, he's not playing poorly. He's playing fine.
And he might be good. It might take him a year.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be a damn good player. Now, he's not shot out of the cannon like Sauce right away. But then again, he's not challenged like, he's not, it's different position. Again, look, I told you guys how I roll. As soon as they're not, I fucking hate him. Kyle Hamilton can burn, man. I don't care about Kyle Hamilton anymore. If I wanted him pre-draft, he's a Baltimore Raven. I hate Baltimore. No matter what I tell my wife.
The Bears really came up 1 yard short.
What's that?
This is unbelievable. The guy had his foot.
What happened?
How is this? Oh. Wow.
Oh, no.
Almost an unbelievable catch, although he really should have had it when he jumped up. But the nice play by the defender drives him down. He's juggling it. He gets it, but then by the time he catches it, he's out of bounds. End of game. Unbelievable.
That's terrible. Now, who do you blame? Justin Fields, I think.
Shoot,
Why'd
man.
you throw the ball out of bounds?
Caller. They had all those plays down inside the 5-yard line. They didn't put Justin Fields in motion once.
I know.
Let the kid run. That's the one thing he can do that we know for sure.
Right. From the 5-yard line, right. He'll get it in. He'll find a way into the But
they kept him in the pocket trying to find receivers, which he's not the best at the moment.
Right. So Carson Wentz gets the win, 12 hot points. Look at Justin Fields. He's going to talk about how the fans shouldn't feel bad tonight. I'm the one who's supposed to feel bad. You're supposed to feel, if you feel bad, it should be for me.
I'm the one out there losing.
How hard I worked. Right.
Just to lose.
Chris K, thank you for the super chat. Hold on, Frank. He says, crazy to think 6 total rookie of the week winners in the last 2 years. And the last one before that was Geno Smith. Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it earlier, Chris. It's absolutely correct. I mean, if you want to talk about the winds of change, like we're seeing a team that's playing 60 minutes of football. That was not a Jets trait. If we're down a touchdown and four, dude, they're done. You know what I mean? It's over. Like that game in Cleveland, there's not a Jets team in 15 years that's maybe let's say Rex Ryan. So 12 years. There's not a Jets team in 12 years that believes and tries to do what they did. There's not one. You could
Adam
argue
Gase would have rallied him. You're wrong, Greenbean. Adam Gase was a leader.
He was.
For the first drive of the game.
He would have hopped off the bench and said, "Wait, we can do it.
We'd score that first
plays. I'm going to draw him up right here."
Yeah. So you have all that stuff, but like you're talking about, Chris, in addition to that, 6 of our rookies, and actually more, because look, again, we had 2 up this week, 6, and not all first-round picks either. We had second-round picks, 2 of them. We have a 6th-round pick that won Rookie of the Week last year, Brandon Eccles. So it's a testament to what's going on, man. We haven't had a rookie that was worth a shit, in a long time. And, Leo was good. Jamal was good. They're fine.
Quinnen's turning it on.
Yeah, Quinnen.
But they're all first rounders. We were expecting every second, third, fourth round pick to miss. Like we were expecting they might be okay players, but they'd be Jordan Jenkins, best case scenario.
Totally.
Now we're starting to see these third, fourth round picks actually become legitimate starting players. This is in territory we've been in 10, 15 years.
It's the truth.
That's why I'm so excited. That's another reason to be so excited.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean, it's totally different than what we've been seeing. And again, look, it could fall off a cliff. Don't forget in 2017 with McCown and Robbie Anderson and Jermaine Kearse, they were 3-2. And let me just remind you, Jets fans were talking about this being McCown's year, and he's finally got a guy. All that stuff was happening, and we fell off a cliff. So I just want to remind everybody. Now, I do think this is different. This is a very different team and a very different scenario. But I just want to tell you, we've been here before, and so we don't know what's going to happen. We just got to go into Green Bay, and we got to play well. That's all I want to see. If we end up losing, as much as I don't want to, we end up losing. I can't believe that Mooney, dude, he's in the end zone. He didn't have it.
Yeah.
He bobbled it. Mooney.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Major fantasy disappointment is Darnell Mooney.
No, I have him too.
I couldn't play him anymore after week 3. I'm like, I can't play this guy.
I traded him.
I was shocked. Yeah.
I traded him, and I was excited about him. I think he's a really, really good player, exciting young player. So, hey, guys, you know what time it is? Not trivia yet. We're going to do the trivia, but I got something else to show you guys. It is time to remind everybody about our sponsor tonight, Manscaped, the number one name in men's grooming, as you guys know, is the sponsor of the Thursday Thick of It. Let me put my face over here. Now, I'm going to show you guys some products. I don't know if Frankie or Y2K have their products ready, but support by Manscaped is appreciated. They are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, which is what they sent to us, what we have personal experience with, is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. That's 12 million balls, everybody, with this exclusive offer. Again, guys, for whatever reason, they have crazy sales on their website right now. If you use the promo code GreenBean, you get an additional 20% off of those sales. So if it already says 30% off and you put GreenBean in, you're going to get 50% off. We've been talking about Manscaped all over the place. I'm wearing their awesome shirt right now. We've been talking about it for years. You've heard it all over the place. You've been thinking about it. Now is the optimal time to do it. You're going to save more on Manscaped products now than ever before using the promo code GreenBean. And also you get free shipping no matter where you are. Even if you're down in New Zealand like Braden, or Ireland like Captain K Techno, or the UK like Phil Adams. It doesn't matter where you are. you're going to get free shipping with the promo code GreenBean. So you see Frankie reading the paper. Watch UK. You got anything there? Do you got your pro? Look at this.
Don't have them on me. They're in the other room. But
Yeah.
no, I gotta say, these products have made me like more aware of taking care of myself. Because it actually, I gotta be honest, with some of these products, they give you more confidence. And I'm not kidding when I say that. The nose hair trimmer, the ear trimmer, the weed whacker is what that's called, and it's fantastic. Even the ball deodorant, I gotta say, it is a great smell, and you just feel that much better about yourself. Even if you're the only one there, hey, in the moment, you'll feel that much better about
You're like,
yourself.
you know what? My balls smell delightful.
I'm like, wow.
Well, you know what? Watch UK. Look, jokes. It's hard to talk about this without adding some levity, right? Like without just, it's funny. But the truth is, you're 100% correct. Like when you use these things and you actually do it does build confidence. If you're out there in the single market, man, I can't imagine the rudimentary, archaic ways that I used to take care of myself back when I was on the market. It was like I had hedge clippers. That's what I was doing. That was dangerous, man. Fucking razor blades all over the place. Now it's like, dude, look at it. Has a flashlight. I can't tell you how much of a difference that makes. That thing right there makes the difference. It changes. Like your whole. How did I ever live without this flashlight down there? It's crazy. And I use it for the beard. Here's the honest truth. I texted my wife before. I said, "Hey, can you grab my Manscaped buzzer and bring it in here?" And she came in and said, "Oh, that's funny. I was just using this." And I said, "On what?" She said, "On your son." Like she was using it to shave his head. She was like trimming his head. And she's like, "I was literally just using it." So it's not just a ball trimmer. That's what it's primarily made for, but you can use it on anything that you would use a buzzer for. The ergonomics, all this stuff. It's fantastic, man. I love the products. And again, above everything else, you can save more money now than ever before. So why wouldn't you do it? And Christmas is coming. Shave your damn balls and wear a Santa hat and show up naked to your girlfriend's house or for Christmas, her family. Everybody loves that. Yeah. I don't know if you know that yet. If you're 18, just know, trust the old men. Santa hat, shaved balls, naked, flowers, candies, girlfriend's house. That's what you do.
Be a refined gentleman. Stop being a filthy animal.
That's right.
And a happy new year.
They're like, "Oh, your boyfriend's a little weird." Yeah, that's just who he is. He watches the Thursday Thick of It. So there they are, Manscaped. Again, guys, the link is in the description. You can click on the link, shop around. When you get to the cart, hit GreenBean in there for an additional 20% off to whatever sales are already going on. It's incredible. My buddy just bought the platinum package, literally saved like 100. I think it was $165, $160, some shit. Like just the other day, my buddy did it. And he's like, "Dude, I saved $165. So anyway, so appreciated. It also helps the channel. So don't forget about that aspect of it too. If you're looking to help us, that's the way to do it. Lima Bean is back. He says, "You're a good dude, Lima Bean. I like you. I appreciate it. So if the Bears want to draft another quarterback, is Greenberg going to tell the quarterback to stay in college and not be room?" Right. See, now that was
Greenberg.
That was
wasn't Greenberg. These were people at BYU who wanted Zach to stay in school rather than risk getting drafted by the Jets.
Right.
So I know there was some clown out in Utah.
There was a guy Shap talking about Trevor Lawrence too.
Right.
When we were, I think we were 0-13, right? Weren't we 0-12? And he was saying it looked like the Jets were a shoo-in for the number 1 overall pick, and he said it's a tragedy that this generational talent should have to be punished and go to an organization like the Jets. The NFL should consider switching around how they use the draft. Dude, he hated the Jets so much that he wanted the NFL to change the drafting system. So Trevor Lawrence didn't have to come to the Jets. And the good news is all he had to deal with his rookie year was Urban Meyer and that whole shit show down there.
Lovely human being.
Yeah. Shap didn't. You haven't heard a peep from that ridiculous man since. He's like, "Oh my God, Jacksonville was 10 times worse. And now look, we're turning it around. Everybody's going to want to come here. You know, if we have a winning record this year, I'm telling you, the next year's free agent class, it's going to be, we're going to have to beat them off with a stick. They're all going to want to come.
Look who we got after winning 4 games.
Right.
I know. I don't know how much money we're going to have to spend. I mean, keep that in mind. But you know what? I think it's a situation where you might fill in a piece or two, but I think you're going to be looking at the draft just to plug in the holes that you might have, whatever they may be. It may be another offensive lineman. It might be an off-ball linebacker. It might be a free safety. But you know what? We're not going in saying, you know, I feel like for the last 3 years we've been saying, well, you can't do a whole rebuild in 1 year. You know, I got to tell you what, we're getting to the end of that rebuild where we are getting close to being a team that is going to be able to contend for the playoffs consistently. Now, are there more steps to climb? Absolutely. But I think we can now be confident that we have a foundation in place. Now they got to keep building on it the rest of this year, and then we'll really be able to figure out what we need going forward. But this is not going to be a free agency frenzy this year for the Jets. Let's not count on that.
But you know what's really nice, Watt 2K? In
What's
this
that?
upcoming draft, we'll have our pick of any fullback that we want. We can choose the very best fullback in all of the nation. Probably.
Yeah, Kyle Juszczyk, he will rue the day he did not come to the Jets.
You know what's funny? Draft Tech has 2 fullbacks rated on their list. 2. That's
That
it.
many?
Yeah, that's it.
They probably have more long snappers than they have fullbacks.
That's incredible. Whatever I tell you, what is Bawden hurt? He's on injured reserve, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on
IR.
season-ending injured reserve.
So I don't know. I thought it was getting too crowded anyway. It was like, what are we doing? You know, but I think maybe if Bawden was here, we wouldn't have to watch Ty Johnson take a roster spot. I don't know.
Well,
maybe.
I don't think Lawrence Cager would have made the roster if we still had Bawden. Just
Lawrence Cager, the guy they tried to force feed into the offense week 1.
Yeah, and then shelved ever since. Great
plan.
LaFleur.
He gets deactivated. He's hanging out with Denzel Mims. Mims is showing him his favorite places to go on game days because they're certainly not needed at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, well, you know what happened is Garrett Wilson caught 2 catches, and they said, "Oh my God,
look at this guy."
Yeah, Lawrence Cager, I am terribly sorry. Time for you to sit down.
They saw all the Ravens with their ankles on the field, and they said, "Wait a minute, you left your ankles over there." And they said, "Oh, it's because of Garrett Wilson, all the juking. Okay, maybe we should get that kid in there."
Maybe, just maybe. Like you saw that play, and he almost made that first. It was like, you know, 3rd and 18, terrible pass, and he was like 1 yard short. Incredible. Yeah, that was it. Like from that play, from that first reception, you looked at him and said, he's different.
Yeah,
that was different. You don't
never
see
seen
that
anybody make those kind of moves. I mean, very rarely.
Yeah, and he does it every week. At least
certainly not on the Jets. That's like Tyreek Hill territory. With
definitely not. Definitely. So listen, let's get to some trivia, and then I want to know what you guys. I want to hear what your score predictions are. I'm curious if any of you are going to pick the Packers to win. So Watt2K, let's get into some trivia. What do you have in store for us tonight?
Well, this is the most exciting 4 minutes of everybody's week, the 4 minutes to answer the Jets trivia question. So the last time that the New York Jets defeated the Green Bay Packers was in the year 2006. And speaking of the number 6 is going to tie into our question tonight. Here is your question. Name the only 3 Jets to wear the number 6 for 3 seasons or longer. And your time starts now.
Right.
Mark
Hold
Sanchez.
on. You got to say that again.
Sanchez.
Okay. Yep. History of the Jets. Only 3 Jets have worn the number 6 for 3 years or more. Who are those 3 Jets? Nick Bawden was not cut Jets forever. He's on IR.
Yes, I wanted to say that. You're wrong, Jets forever.
As
Stop
usual.
Jets
3
forever's
exclamation points like you know something. You don't know. He's on IR. He's not cut. There. Take that.
Yeah. And of course, yep. And so, yes, Mark Sanchez is one. He was with the Jets for 4 years.
Ray Lucas
is correct as well. Lucas was there from, what were the years? 98 to 2000, I want to say. Yep. And Sanchez from 09 to 12. There is one other Jet.
Pat Chafee.
I wish. That would have been the best if
would.
that was
That
the
would've
right
been-
answer.
That would have been fantastic.
Probably one of the kickers.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Kicker.
Myers.
Myers. That's what I'm doing.
It is not, Jason Myers was only here 1 year.
Oh,
Well, that ain't it. Nick Folk.
That's-
He was number
Folk.
5.
It was not Nick Folk. Nick Folk was number 2,
Fi-
right?
Wasn't he
Number
5?
2.
I thought he was 5.
2 or 5,
Um,
one or the other.
I
Come
got
on,
one of
guys.
these right.
Help us out in the chat. Pat Laney. Who's that? You mean Pat Leahy?
Leahy.
No, he was
It
number
is
3.
not Pat Leahy.
He was number 3, I think. Doug Bryan.
Doug
It is
Bryant.
not Doug Bryan. Doug Bryan was not here for 3
John
years.
Hall.
John
Yeah.
Hall was number 9.
Oh,
Yeah, turn that 9 upside down.
Oh, Jets Forever revive. We should have cut Bawden Munson.
No, we
Yeah,
shouldn't
whatever,
have.
dude.
No, we shouldn't have.
Yeah, you
Why?
keep
No,
you
no.
keep revising history. We got it documented. It's here. It's here.
mean,
Blanchard.
It
Chris
is
DiNardo.
not Kerry Blanchard.
Carrie Blanchard. Remember him? I forgot all about him.
He was with the Colts for a bit. Yeah, didn't he?
Mickey
Yeah.
Rivers.
Mickey Rivers.
Mick the Quick.
Wally Backman.
Wally wasn't Mickey Rivers number 6?
He might have been.
Number
That was a little
6.
before my time, but
Hold on. So if all right, it can't. It
Notorious.
has to be a quarterback or kicker because they just changed that single digit shit recently. Louis Aggie. Oh, he was number 4. Damn it. Who was a
Frank.
punter? Wait a minute. What was that guy's name, Frankie? The punter we had for a long time. He was he came from the Chiefs, remember?
No.
Maybe he was a place kicker.
Gary Vedvik.
Vedvik.
oh, believe me, I got a few. I was going to mention him later.
Tom Tupa. He was only
Tom
a senior.
Tupa was number 7.
7. The
Can't
Aussie.
believe we're getting a
punter,
trivia
yeah.
question about numbers.
Oh, was it
That
Lachlan
was
Edwards?
Ben Graham. That was Ben Graham. He was
No,
number
Lachlan
7 as
Edwards
well.
was an
Oh.
Aussie.
He was the left-footed punter. Yeah, I like Ben Graham.
What about Lachlan? He was Lachlan Edwards. He was
Lachlan was
he was an
number
Aussie.
9, I think. I think Lachlan was 9. It
Jim
was not
Turner,
Lachlan
Bawden.
Edwards.
Look, Jets Forever still talking about Bawden. He's trying
How
to
much
convince
time we
us
got
of
left?
something.
You have 40 seconds.
I'm seeing a wide
Yeah, it took me
receiver.
a
I
second
don't
to get
know.
the
I don't
clock
think
up.
so, Chris. It's like it has to because if it's, I mean, unless it's recent, I mean,
Not a wide receiver. I can tell you,
yeah.
special teams.
it
Special
can't be
teams.
right. Braden
It is
Man.
not a wide receiver. I'll give you that.
Oh my God, I can't think of his name, dude. He came from the Chiefs. I'm almost convinced he was around forever, guys. He was like the 30 years in the league. The hell was his name?
Got an idea. Yeah. So the correct answer, I'm not sure if he. I'm gonna just look him up really quick to see if he played for the Chiefs because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna check for you. No, this guy did not play for the Chiefs. GreenBean. Time's up.
What the hell was that guy's name? I care more about that. All right, what is the answer?
The correct answer, this player was the Jets punter from 1988 to 1990. His name was Joe Prokop.
Prokop. With the
Prokop.
flies.
Would
Frankie.
not
Joe
have, I would
Prokop and
never
his
remember
flies.
that.
here
Never
we go.
remember that.
Yep. He was in the league for 7 years. He played for the Packers, the Chargers, 3 years with the Jets, then on to the 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Giants. So it was Joe Prokop.
He had
Was the other
massive
number 6 on the
thighs.
Jets.
I would never have known that.
Jeremy would have had it.
Oh yeah,
That's
He
his
loved-
wheelhouse. I
he
don't
loves
know.
punting.
He loved it. Let me see here. Look at this. Look at this form. You'll understand why. Look at this form. Look at that. Oh my God. Perfect.
Joe Prokop.
He's a ballerina.
Wow.
Look at that, guys. He's a ballerina. Look at his
He's
toe.
got some yoga. Yeah, he's probably got like a yoga video out or
Look at that
something.
toe. Look at that. It's perfect. I don't think I've
Proper
ever seen.
format.
Look, here he is. Joe Prokop. See,
There
now I
he
gotta
is.
say, everybody says we should go back to these helmets. I hated this. Sucks.
No, but
The
we just
logo?
take the same concept and modernize it.
Yes,
That's all.
totally. You need to. This
Yeah.
flat, like the
No.
non-gloss. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah,
It looked
yeah.
It does
plastic.
look very dull. Yeah.
It looked like it was made of plastic. Like, look at this thing.
When I
that's
was
the way
watching
they
that
were
Jets
at that
Dolphins
time.
game, when I was watching the 86 game, I was like, man, the helmets, the logo's good, but the way that they look like they're out of the 60s or something. They just, they
Yeah.
look ancient.
Hey guys, he signed this one. Let's see how much this costs. He signed it. GoPro, $3.
89 cents.
$3.
$3.
Three times, he's got
$3.
three
That's way
times the
too
value
expensive.
of Pat Chafee.
Imagine how excited he must have been to have somebody come up to him and ask him to sign a card. He must
Oh,
have
he
been
was the
thrilled.
punter. He was like, "Yeah, sure."
He was,
Hey,
no,
Jake
he
Ashman,
was probably,
talking
he was
about
probably
you.
flipping out.
He probably had a bunch of autograph cards in his suit jacket pocket. He would just walk around
He's-
handing out cards.
Hey, anybody want
He
one?
still has-
Anybody want a Joe Procock card?
Wait, Jake Asman, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show. We're still here. We're gonna end it in like any second now, though.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Jake,
be-
we already got it started.
Yeah, we got it
Had
ended
it
now,
ended.
Jake.
It started.
You had a good show today, Jake. Jake did a long show today too. I think he did it like 50% longer than usual today. So hey, nice to have you here, Jake.
Jake has one of the better intros around.
JE, yeah, for sure. JE nailed it. Dan Jennings was who I was talking about.
You're thinking Dan Jennings or Dave Jennings?
Dave Jennings. That's
Dave
who it
Jennings.
was.
He was with
Yes.
the Giants, yeah, forever.
Jim
Let me see.
Jennings.
Hold on here. I gotta fucking find some Dave Jennings stuff now. He was on the Chiefs.
Jennings.
He was on the Chiefs. I know he was
I
with the
can't-
Giants forever.
that's what I remember. Maybe I'm dead wrong. It's been a long time. Been a long life.
Yeah, we'll check here. I know
No,
he
no,
passed away
Jennings
not
was
that long ago.
he was with the Giants, man. What the hell was the guy's name? Hold on. I gotta find this.
Dave Hostetler.
Wasn't Louis Aguilar with the Chiefs for a while?
Yeah, he went to the Chiefs after the Jets. Let me see.
Yeah,
something.
Louis Aguilar. Maybe that's who you're thinking of.
No, definitely
Whatever
not.
happened to Luis Borregales?
Hold on. I'll fucking find this guy. Louis Aguilar, Matt Turk, Brian Hansen, Jason Kidd.
Oh,
Dave, yeah,
sure.
Dave Jennings. I guess it is him. Wait a minute. I can't.
I've got the
believe-
entire Chiefs history of punters right here in front of me. I can't
Yeah,
believe I just
course
looked
you
this
do.
up.
I know. You got to stop it. Slow down.
How can you not have that right in front of you?
Let me see. He was on the Giants, Dave Jennings. Yeah,
Dave
this is
the
the
Wade.
face. This is the face I remember, man, right here. This is the guy. When I was doing that, this is what was in my head. I'm going to show you guys right now the whole time. When I was like, what's the guy? What's the guy? This is what I was seeing right here. I'm going to show you. Here he is. This is the face I was seeing in my head.
There you go.
That's him. That's the guy. So thank you, J.E. There he
Excellent
is.
mustache.
Totally.
Oh,
That was the era of
fantastic.
mustachios.
I think he probably used maybe the weed whacker on that mustache
not
to
the
help
guy.
trim it. I think Dave Jennings would have been a big advocate for Manscaped.
Yeah, he probably got in a time machine, went all the way forward 30 years, and then got a Manscaped thing, and then went back in time in order to, kill his mustache competition because it's a very
Watch out.
competitive space.
All right. So I was thinking of him, but really who I was talking about with the Chiefs is Nick Lowry, and he was a place
Oh.
kicker. That's who I was trying. I was jumbling him up. You know what I mean? I was jumbling up the Jennings Lowry. He came on. He was super old, but he ended up being good for us for a while.
Yeah, Lowry, he had some mustache. He had some mustache game going on as well.
Right, you can totally understand why I confuse such fellas. You know what I mean? Let me see. Nick Lowry. Yep, there he is. The Chiefs. Here he is. This guy. Look at this helmet, Frankie. Holy shit. Look at this thing. You'll remember this. Look at these helmets. Nick Lowry. There he is. Another mustachio. What do you think of that?
Still with the single crossbar on the helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you needed, really.
Yeah.
You needed the windbreaker underneath the uniform, because you want to break the wind, for your arms underneath the uniform.
Yeah.
I mean,
For that 14 seconds you're on the field, it's very difficult to deal with. If in his defense, like, screw you, I'm sitting on the damn sideline all day. It's freezing.
He looks like a totally different guy
running
without the
around.
mustache once he shaved. He looks like a totally different person. Yeah.
There you go. We're here. We're doing it. So, all right, look, now that Jake Asman said hello, we've been waiting all night. Finally, fucking Jake, thank you for finally popping in. Now we can end the show. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Manscaped, our sponsor for this episode of this particular show. You guys are the best, man. So I thank you all for being here. It's another great show. Thank you for letting me start an hour late and run until 11:30 at night. I appreciate it. Frankie, why don't you let everybody know what you got coming next, buddy?
Frankie for Flatbush channel. Check it out. Videos, live streams, coffee with Frankie, 11 a.m. on Sunday before the game. Commiserate, celebrate, instant reaction afterward, et cetera, et cetera. Frankie from Flatbush channel on YouTube.
There it is, Frankie from Flatbush. But now, so I'm between Frankie and Y2K. I forgot to get our prediction. So, Frankie, while you're there, what do you see happening this weekend? We're going to hold you to it. So, what do you see?
28-25 Jetsies.
Well, say that again.
28-25 Jetsies.
28-25 Jetsies. I like that. Now, Y2K, what do you see in your crystal ball bag?
Well, I've gone through a couple of them, and in my future, my biggest concern with this game is Aaron Jones. I think this is going to be a big test for this Jets defense, not just because it's Aaron Rodgers, but I think I got to see them stop this kind of a running game.
Yeah.
If they could get the pressure on Aaron Rodgers with the front four, it will make it that much easier for them to cover and play the run. If that doesn't work, it's going to be a long day. I think the Jets will score some points. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Right now, my final prediction is Packers 27, Jets 19. Right now, I am not picking. Right now, I think the Jets can win the game, but if I got to pick a winner, right now I got to go Green Bay. Just being honest with you.
Yep. I don't believe in such things. I
Hey.
get it. I think now I want to say that's very cool, Paris. Very interesting. Indiana Jets nails it. If we can bring the same fourth quarter energy into the third quarter, we're taking over the AFC. I agree. I see a very tough beginning of the game, and the Jets absolutely start to like get the engine going and do a similar thing to what we saw in Miami, where we take over the game and win it handily at the mid to late fourth. I see 31-24 New York Jets. I feel good about it. That's where I stand. Y2K, be damned. So what do you got, Y2K? What's coming up for you?
Whole lot of stuff. I just put my confidence picks up where I pick the winner for every game of week 6. Tomorrow I'll be putting up my 5 bold predictions for Jets Packers, my game preview for the whole YouTube audience and for the Virginia Jets fans. And next Wednesday, Jeremy and I are doing a very unique show. At 10 p.m., we have decided for every $25 in super chats that gets donated, Jeremy will take a shot of a progressively hotter hot sauce, and I will eat a hot dog, capitalizing on my hot dog eating competition that I won a couple of years ago. So, hey, we get $100, I'll eat 4 hot dogs. We get $200, I'll eat 8 hot dogs. So if you want to see two guys just totally torture themselves, tune in Wednesday night, 10 o'clock at Jets Chaos.
There you go. They're trying it all, buddies. So go ahead over there and help them torture themselves. Let's see how many hot dogs you can get Y2K to eat.
I've done 18 before, man. So I can put a few away. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. So, all right, look, I think most of you guys have the Jets winning. Ablab, everybody's good, right?
Awesome.
Everybody, I like it. So there you go, guys. Don't forget to like the video. If you have not subscribed, now is the perfect time. We do appreciate all of your support, and thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's been a good time. I got a surprise for you guys tomorrow morning. We'll see what it is in the morning. See if you're awake. See if I'm awake to even do the surprise. With that all said, have a great night. Oh, let me get this off real fast. And have a great night, everybody. We will see you. There is it. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah!
You want to run or you want to duck down? You want to duck, just go over and get onto the bench and stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets, Jets.